Hey everybody, welcome to a project probably too big for me to do, but screw it, that's never stopped me before. We are, mostly me, but as a collective with chat, you know, me taking inspiration and input from you guys and such, going to be making my own version of the Marvel Universe. I know it's a wild thing to just leap into a stream talking about, but this is something that I really, you know, this is the kind of stuff that's going to resonate well with my audience here. We are going to be taking, the way I described it on my TikTok live, right, was like the Ultimate Universe, but better, and like Heroes Reborn, but better. Taking sort of the core concepts and the characters of the Marvel Universe and redoing it. Changing things and making it, you know, in a new way, kind of like what the MCU has done, but how I would do it. I think it's going to be interesting, and I think it's going to be something that pulls in views. So, oh, hold on, my mom's in chat. Hi, favorite son, I hope you're eating real food. On TikTok, you just sent M&Ms today. To be fair, mother, they were the M&Ms that you sent me in the box, which I did pick up today, so thank you. I will eat after this, don't worry about it. Also, yes, we are not, as someone pointed out, we're not just going to do starring Moon Knight, Superior Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. I have a plan for how we're going to do this. But I'll talk about that in a second here, because I got to set up a couple more things very quickly, and then we will start talking about how exactly this is going to work and the quote-unquote rules I have for it. Amy's also lying in the Discord. Don't worry. No, don't listen to Amy. Show everyone the sticker I sent you. Okay, I have to go get it. I haven't put it on my water bottle yet. One second. There we go. Now you can hear me. My mother sent me a sticker for my water bottle, which I just picked up this box like an hour ago, so I haven't put it on yet. But it's going to be inverted, but my mother sent me a hydration sticker. Thank you, mother, to that. Anyway, let me set this stuff up here. First off, though, before and sort of as I start setting things up. Announcements. Now, 2 out of 3 of these things are basically the same as they have been. Number 1, my YouTube for VODs is updated. The link is in my link tree. It'll be going through the chat, etc., etc. But to be fair, the last stream from Friday is not up on the Twitch yet, or on the YouTube yet. I was chilling over the weekend because I had a cold. It will be up. Tonight's will be up. But the YouTube for VODs is happening, and you can see a bunch of stuff there. Thirdly on the list, streams have moved up an hour. You will note that this is an hour earlier than it usually is for my streams. I am trying that out to see if I can pull in more audiences, especially at the end of streams. Also, I'm going to be setting up my TikTok live as I'm talking here, so that's why I'm looking down. My streams usually go really late, especially like if you're on the East Coast, and I get a lot of view drop-off at the end of streams, which is how things work, but I want to mitigate that if possible, so we're moving streams up earlier. I hope that is convenient for everybody. I know I'm gonna be... I still haven't changed the hydrate description. I actively have. Did it not take? I have so many things to set up. Hold on. I'm handling things as we go. I know there's more hydrates coming in, but I have to set stuff up. Before we can do content. Anyway, getting to the announcement that everybody cares about. Streams are moving up an hour, blah, blah, blah. No one cares about that. Outlaws of the 7 is this week. Outlaws of the 7 is this week. Also, you're totally right. This description did not save. There we go. Should be fixed now. Anyway, Outlaws of the 7 starts this Friday. Usual D and Dorks time. I noted that on my announcements things. My personal streams have moved up an hour. D and Dorks is staying where it is. So it is at 6 p.m. Central Time. That is the new campaign DM'd by Panda Red. It is unrelated to anything else we have done for the past year and a half, so if you would like to jump in at a good point without having to see anything for precedent, this is the time to do that. More announcements will be coming from that in the next couple days. In like 5 minutes, I'm going to show you guys my character for it, and I'm going to set my stuff up and then show you so that everyone's incentivized to stick around while I do my final setup here. But yes, I will show you my character for that. It's going to be super fun. I'm not talking too heavily about the plot and things because Panda should be releasing his like official announcement for it in the next couple days, and then you'll see more about that from me. But it is this Friday. And that's what matters. Are you feeling mostly better, by the way? How are you feeling? Oh, yeah, my cold is entirely cleared up. You might hear me sniffling a little bit because my nose is still like a tiny bit runny. Otherwise, I'm totally fine. It was just a cold. You know, I didn't get COVID tested, so I don't know if it was. Hopefully, it wasn't just a super light case of COVID, but regardless, I did not see anybody. I'm not planning on, like, going out and doing anything this week, so I'm being safe, but I am feeling entirely better. Professional streamer man, you need a theme song at this point. I would love a theme song. Can someone write me a theme song? That'd be cool as hell. Someone write me a theme song. I'm not going to pay you for it because I don't have that much money, but... but if someone wants to, out of the kindness of their heart, I would think that would be very cool of you to do. Okay. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you. Alright. People are also asking about how we're going to do the reset. Or the rewrite. Let me get my TikTok live going, which will take 2 seconds, show you the character art, and then we will explain. Because I do have an idea for this in mind, a good pathway of how to make this go. If someone wants to do free labor, I won't complain. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Explaining character badly, Koi Boy. You know Squirrel Girl, it's that but fish. Look, not all my explain badlies have to be that bad. That's a pretty accurate one. My video got restored! Let's go! Let's go! Okay, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry to delay things again. I had a video earlier today removed from monetization for fake engagement, which means like bots on the video, which I did not do. I have no idea why. So I appealed it like an hour ago and it already got fixed. Sweet. I was worried because that was going to take like $120 away from me. Yay, it got fixed. Okay, that's very good. I don't know what happened though, man. Why did it get flagged? For context, the video that I'm talking about is the blocks video on my second channel. It only has like 144,000 views, which is a lot, granted, but it's like half my following. So I don't know why it got flagged as fake. Like, it's not like it was that insane. Anyway, point is it's fixed and I get my money for it. Thank goodness. So let me plug this my phone in here so I can charge while I'm doing the concurrent live, and then we can actually start. I lost my charge. There it is. See, guys, my overlay might look nicer now, but I'm still the same old bad at streaming guy, and that's what really matters, isn't it? It's endearing or whatever. Bam. Let's get this started. Actually, no, I lied. I gotta show you guys my character. I gotta show you the D&D character first. That's what you want to see. Also, for anyone who's new or didn't come to my streams last week, look at the new overlay. It's nice, right? I've been talking about it probably too much, but I'm very proud of it. And one of my favorite little features is... Whoop, I misclicked. No more awkward cuts, seamless transition between big camera and content on the screen. Another thing that I want to... This will be like the last time I flex this, but I'm still so proud of it. Look at what happens when people follow or subscribe. I'll do a fake one. It like slides into the announcement box. It doesn't interrupt or cover anything. And then it slides out. It's so nice. Genuine. It's so simple. This took me like an hour. But it's one of my favorite things I've ever done on my stream. Anyway, let me very quickly pull... Whoop. That was some files. Ignore that. Well, you're not going to ignore that. It's just random stuff. Let me pull up the character sheet that I have from Panda Red. I'm now realizing I don't remember what the file is named. I'm going to do the lazy... Hold on. I don't remember what I named the file. Okay, I'm going to throw to my big cam, and then I'm going to bring up the text conversation between me and Panda so I can just grab it from there. And I'm going to my big cam so that I don't accidentally show everybody his phone number. There it is. Open that file. And there we go. Everyone ready? Some of you already saw this because I showed this in my last stream, but my character for the upcoming D&Dorks campaign, Outlaws of the Seven, is not centered on the screen. Let's get that at least somewhat. Boom. We decided to go with wanted posters for the character art this time. This was Panda's decision. Panda's the DM. He also is doing the character art for everybody. and wanted posters are the vibes that we were doing, because, you know, cowboy campaign. And this is mine. Sorry, this is mine. His name is King Otaria the Risen. He is wanted for crimes of piracy, murder, fraud, looting, kidnapping, money laundering, skeeviness, bad acting, and tax evasion. His bounty is 3 million. I was going to say dollars, and now I'm realizing that that's not a dollar sign, and I'm assuming Panda has a different name for the money in his world. And I don't actually know what it is. 3,000 units of money. One more thing about, well, I'll tell you 2 more things about this character, because I'm not going to tell you everything. You got to wait for Friday for that. But 2 things. Number 1, Paladin. Leonin Paladin. Leonin's not new information. You can see on the screen. It's not a mask. He is a Leonin Paladin. And 2, the only hint that I will give you about this character's personality. He looks very scary and very intimidating on this poster. He looks like a real villain. Otaria hates that. Otaria thinks this picture is a gross misrepresentation of his character and is very frustrated that his wanted poster depicts him in such a negative light. As for what exactly that means, you guys are going to have to wait and show up on Friday to find the specific information about how this character works. Oh, I guess I lied. I will say one more thing. This is not about the character specifically, but this character does have the potential to be one of my favorites that I've ever played. Not like on live, ever. I am super excited to play King Otaria. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, man. And you guys get to see it this upcoming Friday. Hold on. What are... Oh yeah, Nathan isn't gay. Yeah. Nathan, wait, Mom, how did you find out about that? Wait, Mom, how did you find out that Nathan isn't gay? I guess, are you following Nathan on TikTok? You're probably following Nathan on TikTok, aren't you? I have sources. Is it Nathan's TikTok? You're probably following all my friends on TikTok. Anyway, now, let's get to the actual content of this stream. Only 15 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes in. I thought I blabbered on for longer than that. Anyway, what we are starting in this stream, and I'm actually going to go back to my big camera for this. There we go. What we are going to be doing on this stream, and future streams if this goes well, which I think it will, is I'm going to be, quote-unquote, rewriting the Marvel Universe. I know a lot about Marvel. I think most of you probably agree with me on that. But Marvel has not done a lot of reboots in the past. They've done them before, right? They've done, like, Heroes Reborn, which is a soft reboot. They've done the Ultimate Universe, which is an AU, but kind of functions sort of like a reboot, something like that. We're going to make one of those. We're going to make a Marvel Universe that is changed and different, using the same characters and the same rough concepts, but like how I would do it. This, admittedly, is a concept I came up with about 5 hours ago, so it's rough. And what we are going to be doing today is overarching types of things. Yes, someone compared like to MC2, like a Crisis or Flashpoint or Rebirth kind of thing, kind of like that. So, what I'm hoping to do, and again, this is a concept that I came up with 5 hours ago. Here's what I'm wanting. Alpha Dolphin. That's a cool name. Thank you for the follow. We are going to be going through probably every Monday and taking like a sphere of the Marvel Universe, or in some cases maybe a specific character, and sort of redoing that, right? So we're going to be doing it in sections, you know. Maybe 1 week we're going to be working on like space. Maybe 1 week we're going to be working on magic. And these are probably going to take more than 1 week, but we're going to go by sort of categories, right? What this is going to be today is an overarching setup thing. So we're going to be going over the sort of foundations of the Marvel Universe as it stands right now and how we're going to set up things moving forward. Does that make sense? Will this be like Mr. Redtastic's DCU? I believe so. Yes, I believe something like that. We need to build the basic structure first. Yes, exactly. Exactly that kind of thing. So, what we're going to do is we're going to be consulting a book. A book that I have physically that is farther back on my shelf than I thought it was. That being the inverted on your screens History of the Marvel Universe. An incredibly good book. If you're a huge Marvel fan, much like I am, I cannot recommend this book enough. It is basically a comic book styled, like, think of this like an in-universe history book. This is not the history of, like, Marvel Comics, the company. This is, like, all of the important events in the universe of Marvel chronologically. It's incredibly good. Again, it is very deep nerd stuff. It is like, if you're just a casual reader, I probably wouldn't recommend this, but if you are a hardcore Marvel fan, cannot recommend this book enough. So, we're going to look through the start here. Well, this is going to start out with Galactus, actually. This book starts out with Galactus, and at this point I'm going to cut over to my big cam. We're going to make some notes, right? We're going to be making some notes on important things that we need to take into account as we start this bigger project. Something of that note. Let's see here. There we go. All right. So, your universe was created. This is spoken by Galactus, by the way. Your universe was created from the eruption of another dying reality. It was into this new existence that I, its sole human survivor, Galvan of Ta, Galactus, emerged without shape, without form. And then all the weird anthropomorphized cosmic concepts showed up. Here, I don't think I'm going to mess with this too much, right? I don't think I'm going to mess with this too much because we're not doing like the next Marvel Universe. That's not my goal here. I'm not making a sequel to the Marvel Universe. I am making a different one, like a rebooted sort of retcon one. But this is just a notes-taking thing. So, Galactus, first being from previous world. And don't worry, this is going to be a notes-taking section, but it won't take that long. Marvel Cosmology is perfect. Marvel Cosmology is also pretty good, and I don't really want to, like, heavily do too much with it because, oh boy, that would take a while. So, cosmic beings emerge. Infinity Stones emerge, or are created. This is the first thing that we might not fix. I don't want to say fix. I'm not going to be fixing problems in this. I'm just going to be doing it my way. Infinity Stones are created. I think there's a decent chance that we might mess with the makeup of the Infinity Stones in this world. I don't mind doing that. That's an interesting way of doing things. Now, Phoenix Force shows up. The Macron Crystal shows up. The Celestials, though. The Celestials are definitely going to be something that we... Infinity Gems. I mean, not anymore, right? Well, no, it does say gems at this point. Whatever. Hot take, I don't care. Someone might get mad at me for that, but I don't care. Infinity Stones, Infinity Gems, same difference. Here's the important thing, though. The Celestials. The Celestials are definitely something that I want to work with in this redo because, man, the Celestials are wildly important, right? You guys, even if you're not super, super, super deep... Oh, also, hi, Nikhil. The Celestials in the movies, which a lot of people are, more familiar with, they, make stars and planets and stuff, and then they do all the things that were described in the Eternals, and so far that's basically it. In the comics, they do a little bit more. The Celestials are technically responsible for, most things that have happened supernaturally on Earth. Nikhil, you're here, which is good. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong about this, but, the reason that mutants exist is because the Celestials experimented on humans. That's also why the Deviants and the Eternals and the Inhumans exist. Basically, every non-human super-powered species on Earth comes from the Celestials. They do a ton. And if you want to get even funkier, they are technically responsible for the first iteration of the Avengers forming, because the first iteration of the Avengers, millions of years ago, 1 million years ago, whatever it is, formed in response to a celestial threat. Also, one of the reasons that Earth has so much happening specifically... the Kree aren't making Inhuman. I'm sorry. It might be the Kree that did the Inhumans. I'm sorry. It's Kree that did the Inhumans. You get why I'm confused. But, the Dreaming Celestial... Actually, the Dreaming Celestial I'm going to have to pull up a wiki page for. Because that's a hell of a concept that I want to quote exactly. So, Tiamat, the Dreaming Celestial. Tiamat is the name of one of the Celestials in the MCU, but he does a very different thing in this movie, or in the comics. In the comics, Tiamat is one of the reasons that Earth is weird, because he exists in the center of the Earth and causes problems by being weird and magical. Correct? Am I thinking of the right celestial there? I'm fully gonna acknowledge here that this is a lot of concepts that, like, this is one reason I wanted to do this on live and not just, you know, by myself on TikTok, because this is a lot of stuff. And having other people fully open as, like, fact checkers, that would be helpful for this. And the deviant spread, yes. So Tiamat exists at the center of the planet. Let's see if I can find a picture of that. It shouldn't be that hard, right? Tiamat's the one that exists at the center of the planet in Jason Aaron Avengers and, like, cries and does stuff, right? Or am I thinking of a different celestial? The great thing about this is sleeping celestial. Yes, that's him, right? Yes! For roughly 20,000 years, he slumbered and his armor became black. So that's the progenitor. Am I thinking of the progenitor? I might just totally be wrong here. See, this is why I want people. You're right. You're right. You're so right, because it is the progenitor. I've got mixed. I'm sorry. This is probably unintelligible to people who are not, like, very deep into Marvel Comics lore. I promise that this is going to make more sense, but we have to get through this very complicated stuff first. Because the progenitor, Tiamat is the progenitor, pretty sure. Is Tiamat the progenitor? Okay. I'm going to explain this without complicated words so that the people who are in this chat don't get discouraged and leave if they don't already know what I'm talking about. Basically, one of the reasons in the Marvel Universe that Earth is weird is because there is the sort of maybe possibly partially alive corpse of a celestial inside the planet, and the celestial's body makes Earth sort of magically and cosmically attuned, and that is what attracts a lot of the weird stuff to Earth. Right? Right? That's basically how it works. And then they bring the celestial back. Point is, we don't need to cover this now. I'm getting way too ahead of myself, and I'm dropping viewers because of it. Not bold. The Celestials. Celestials are why superhumans exist on Earth. That's the very, very, very basic point of what we're talking about here. We don't have to get into the super deep cosmology. This is an overview. Basically, the Celestials did stuff on Earth. One of them died, and the fact that there's a dead Celestial on the Earth is why there are so many weird superhumans there. Superheroes are celestial antibodies. Yes, right. The superheroes were kind of made magically to protect the corpse of the Celestial. It's a whole thing. So, for this reskinned Marvel Universe, do we want to keep this, or do we want to have a different origin for superheroes on Earth? We're starting out with big concepts here tonight on Sir Superheroes Twitch channel. And this is something that I want to ask the chat in general. Do we want to just... And also, we can go back and change this later. Do we want to say, keep this origin of there's a dead Celestial on Earth and that's why superhumans are a thing? Or do we want to come up from with scratch something like this? I'm saying a couple people say... Yeah, Archie, if you want to go ahead and make a poll, go ahead and make a poll. Most people in chat are saying just keep it, but that's good. We can keep it, that way people who don't want to chat can also vote on here. How many dead Celestials are there? I thought they were supposed to be impossible to kill. They're gods, and because of that, it's very weird if they are killable or not, because they're fictional gods, and that's a whole... You know, that's... to sort of quote Good Omens, which I was watching over the weekend, because the Celestials are weird, and that's how it is. To paraphrase a Good Omens quote. We should do something from scratch, but it's not bad. We will come up with specifics later. As I'm thinking about this, do we actually want to start at the modern era and backtrack? I feel like starting at the modern era might actually be more interesting. Like I said, this is a concept I came up with a few hours ago, so I have no idea how we're going to do this. Isn't Nowhere a celestial head? Yes, Nowhere is a head of a celestial, and it's because Null and a lot of stuff happened. This is very deep cosmology stuff that I don't necessarily know if we want to go with. I have a better idea, chat. This is an iterative process. I have a better idea. You know what? This is actually a way better idea. Screw the Celestials. We'll deal with the Celestials later. Yeah, scroll down. Get them off the screen. We'll deal with the Celestials later. What superheroes do we want to start with? That's what's more important. in the Marvel Universe as it stands, the current Marvel Universe, there are a lot of first superheroes because there's the Asgardians and Silver Surfer and weird space stuff that happened. And there's also, you know, prehistoric things and all sorts of nonsense. There's the Submariner, there's the Human Torch, there's Captain America, there's the Fantastic Four. Do we want those to still be the first superheroes in our universe, or do we want to start with something new? Now for this, I actually have a pitch. I have a weird pitch that is not even really a pitch, it's more of like the bones of an idea, but it's a good idea. This is something I was thinking about when I was checking my P.O. box today. Because I think a very interesting way that we can start off some weird superhero-related cosmology in the universe is, out of all things, the Savage Land. Now, people who know what the Savage Land are probably really confused as to where exactly I'm going with this. What the Savage Land is it is a big nature preserve in Antarctica where there's still dinosaurs in the modern day. Why would I start with this? Why am I starting with this here? Hold on, Nikhil's asking questions. Can I hop on this for like 45 minutes? Sure, why not? I don't have like an overlay set up for you, but let me get my headset. Why not? Nikhil stream. Hold on, I gotta change things for this. Yeah. Where's my headset cord? Where's my headset cord? I'll explain my Savage Land idea in a second, but let me do this before things progress too far. All right. This'll take a second to set up here. But hey, I don't think anyone's gonna argue with impromptu Nikhil Clayton stream. Also, there's like 30 people on TikTok. Come over to Twitch. It's better there. Nikhil Clayton's coming on. If it's too hard, don't worry about it. It just seemed fun. I don't care, dude. Let me turn down music. Oh wait, that's turning down music for just you guys. I'm gonna try something here. Actually, I'm gonna. If I cut this, will that cut your? Yeah, I'm just gonna cut the music for now. Might bring the music up later, but going to big cam for the sake of not accidentally showing important things on my screen. Still using Skype for now. That will probably be changing, but the meeting for D and Dorks to discuss how we're gonna do that does not start until tomorrow, or is not scheduled until tomorrow. So that is we're still using Skype right now. This will take a second. Actually, you know what? Since this is going to take a second, I'm going to explain my Savage Land idea as we go. Sorry, Skype is a weird and bad system, but hopefully this is the last time I ever have to use it. So, here's what the Savage Land is. Ignore me as I'm setting up Skype stuff, but we'll talk about this as we go. The Savage Land is a dinosaur nature preserve. It was created by, the Nuwali? Is that the aliens that called them the Nuwali? Like 200 million years ago, and then it just stayed with dinosaurs. It just stayed as Dinosaur Town until then. It would be interesting if... Oh, is Nikhil already here? Not for you guys, but for me. I hear something. Nikhil? No. It is Nikhil. All right. Hold on, chat. Back to this. News source.
I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize. Don't know. Why not? Look, dude, I don't care. You're always welcome on streams to vibe. It's only going to boost my views, too. So, like, they're so big. Very big, Nikhil. Okay. If I drop you below that... Oh, wait. This will actually... Okay, this will work. Let me drop you below... there we go. You can, Look at that. That looks intentional. See, that's nice. That's why I love this overlay, guys. That's why I love this overlay, because it's flexible. It's flexible and it makes things look intentional. There's not like a purple line. Wait, can I? No, I don't think I can. I could probably get a line in there, but I'm not going to worry about spending time making the border look nice.
No,
can you guys
don't do it.
Can you guys
I'm only here for 45 minutes.
Can you guys hear Nikhil? Can you guys in chat hear Nikhil? You should be able to, but it's also entirely possible that I screwed this up and did it wrong. I'm hearing two people say yes. Okay, we're good. Welcome, Nikhil. I'm literally going to do an announcement in Discord that Nikhil's here because...
I'm here for so not enough time.
I don't care. Update. Nikhil is here. Come watch. Okay, so This is the idea that I was pitching to myself earlier when I was checking my PO box for the Marvel Multiverse RPG book, which, by the way, Nikhil, I still don't have. I don't think it's coming. I think it got lost.
Well, maybe they just didn't send it to you because you got it online.
Well, no, I got it online like the day before it released, though. Like, I got it online so late. Anyway, here my pitch for the Savage Land idea, right? Was I was like, what if the Savage Land is like a time thing? What if the Savage Land is not just like a nature preserve? What if it's like a weird zone that exists somehow time traveled or like outside of time, and we can use that as a concept for superhero stuff. Like time flows differently there at the bottom of the planet. That's such a bare bones idea. But I was like, it's cool. It makes more sense than just there's dinosaurs here because aliens put them there. And I feel like it's an idea that could function a whole lot better.
Would that mean that you'd make Khazar and Shauna from the past?
It would actually. Yeah, see, here's the thing. We could make Khazar and Shauna from the past. Oh, wait. What if... Oh, I have a really stupid and weird idea. What if we pulled a 1602? You know how 1602, like, Captain America gets time traveled back? What if there's, like... What if Khazar is, like, either from the far past or from, like, the far future in the Savage Land? You know? Like, some weird... He gets time traveled back and, like, knows...
Wait, so... Your thing of the Savage Land would be the whole land is displaced, and Khazar, unrelated, is also displaced from a different time?
Well, okay, so yeah, I think it would be interesting if there was just weird time shenanigans going on there. There was some sort of time stuff. What if Khazar's thing... We could literally have Khazar be, like, the impetus for a decent chunk of the Marvel Universe, because he doesn't... Let's say he doesn't have superpowers, right? He doesn't have superpowers. It's not even, like, a Booster Gold thing. He doesn't have that much tech, but he just, like, knows stuff. And gets time traveled. He goes to the Savage Land, is chilling there. Oh, wait.
Well, actually, in 1602, Captain America going to the past is what makes all the other people get bored. Like, that's the reason there's a Daredevil and everything back then. So just Khazar going... You could just say Khazar's from the future, and then him coming back in the Savage Land is what causes the impetus for the Age of Heroes.
Okay. I have a very, very, very weird idea here, too. That actually... Oh, wait. This is kind of cool. Okay. This is the first time I've thought of this, so I'm not going to word this pitch correctly. But what if we take a little bit from Eternals, the movie, and I guess also Earth X, right? Because Earth X is related to that. What if the time in the Savage Land flows backwards? If there's time, a Tenet thing, time in the Savage Land flows backwards. Khazar is like an explorer from the future who gets trapped there, stuck there, and then kind of pops out in like the prehistoric modern day. Here's why I say that, and here's why I think that would be cool. This is such a trippy idea, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to use the right words to come up with this in like short notice. But what if the whole thing is the Savage Land goes backwards, and eventually the Savage Land is going to hit, like, the beginning of time, like the creation of Earth, and that creates a Celestial. And that's how Celestials are born. Is, like, there are pockets of things on, like, the Celestials mess with the planet, they alter the flow of time, and then it loops back to the beginning of time, and then it, like, does something that creates a Celestial. Does that make sense in any way at all?
It makes a certain amount of sense.
It doesn't make a comic book amount of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
This is all beta testing. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's Celestial fucked up time, but then it's like a closed loop because it goes back to the beginning and they make the Celestial that fucks up time.
Yeah, because like it would be a thing sort of like where because like not that like Galactus is from the beginning. I'm trying to think of how to phrase. Yeah, I love that the Savage Land is okay. So at least one person in chat likes my stupid idea. That's good.
Good. That's what's necessary.
But like,
who is it?
SSS Spare change. Spare change probably. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this because I have the idea in my brain. I just doesn't know how to. It sounds like it's a celestial respawn point. Yes, that actually exactly would be. That's exactly what I mean. Like at the beginning of time, there's something akin to the Big Bang that creates celestials. Oh wait, this is a cool idea. I'm actually getting it. Okay. I'm actually so glad you came on, Nikhil, because now I can rant to you instead of just awkwardly to myself. This will be so much easier when we're talking about specific characters, but for like this weird cosmic stuff, it's straight. Okay, so at the beginning of time, the Celestials either created the universe or entered from another universe. Doesn't actually matter how for right now, but something at the beginning of time allowed Celestials into the world, right?
Right.
But the conditions for that to happen were only at the beginning of time. Things have changed so much cosmologically. Now, millions of years later, the Celestials are like, or actually maybe even millions of years in the future, the Celestials are like dying out and need a way to make more of themselves, but can't. So they create these experimental pockets to loop things back to the beginning of time to make more Celestials. It pulls from the Eternals of like the make more Celestials thing. Does that... Okay, chat, what do we think about that?
That works.
Chat, what do we think about that? The Celestials create these things to loop themselves back in time to create... Okay. So, Savage Land ages backwards, creates Celestials. I'm going to actually kill this. We don't need this anymore. This is all like rough pitch ideas, so I'm just going to make a note stock and organize it later. Celestials create reverse time to make more.
So Matt, are you
Celestials.
still doing Celestials then? You've just, instead of changing it, changed where the Celestials come from?
I think that's fine. I think the Celestials being involved in the creation of stuff is like a key enough thing that that's like one of the characteristics of the Marvel Universe that I don't want to change too much, right?
Alrighty.
Would that make the Earth go boom? Okay, I will say this. I think we don't actually have to deal with the consequences of the Celestial reversing time yet, because that would definitely be an event in this, right? That would definitely be like the ticking bomb of the Savage Land is getting close to going off, and that's going to have big consequences. So the great thing about that is we get to shove that off later and not have to worry about that. How would they make pockets of reverse time? That we can hand wave. It's sci-fi.
With
they just do it.
Space magic.
They're space gods. Yeah, they can just do it.
They love their space magic.
And again, if we need rules for it, we can do that later. Okay, so Celestials create the reverse time to make more Celestials. Khazar. Oh wait, we could do some cool stuff with Kang here too, but we'll deal with that later. So
you gotta do Khazars from the future. That's the only way to do this spot.
Ooh, I have an interesting idea. This of all things pulls from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I don't hate it. Mutants, right? If you have anything extra open, you should close it. You're a bit skippy sometimes. Oh, I might. Let me see if I can close anything to fix stuff. I can close that. I can close... I'll just close Discord. That might fix it. We'll see if that fixes it. Okay. This is a mutants thing, so this is more on you to see if you vibe with this or not, Nikhil. But Khazar, it's from the future, brings some sort of like disease or something back with him, and that disease catches to early humans and causes mutants.
Interesting.
I think that could be cool, because that also plays off a lot of like, you could do an interesting sort of mutant arc there where like this version of Apocalypse or whatever thinks he's so all powerful. It's like, no, he just had a weird disease. You know, because it's so mundane that it would work, you know?
So normal humans can just catch a disease and become mutants?
Yeah, or at least like in a very, very, very long time ago, it, infected early humans, altered DNA, and then caused, because it's like an autoimmune disease. It messes with the genetics and stuff.
The system you set up is that if the Savage Land is running time backward and the big event happens when it's at the beginning, you can't mess around with early time because it hasn't gotten there yet.
Okay, well, yeah, well, hold on. Have you seen Tenet, the movie? I don't want to pull too much from Tenet, but like,
No, I've not seen Tenet.
I think the thing would literally be like the Savage Land is like a time machine. Like you enter the Savage Land, you stay there for 10 minutes, you come out of the Savage Land, you are 10 minutes like later. This would be a little bit comic hand wavy, but I think that's like, or 10 minutes earlier.
I just say if you want to do a whole event about the Savage Land finally getting to the beginning, you can't have things that it's already done at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, no. You're right. I totally see what you mean. Okay, that's a good point. So where do the early things come from? I think stuff like Asgardians, like we can leave their origin fine. I'm trying to think like what's early Marvel stuff. Like Asgardians is okay. Ooh. What other early Marvel stuff is important? Early Mutants is fine. Early Black Panther is important. Phoenix Force is also important. How do we handle the symbiotes? Symbiotes are a later problem, I think, because if we go, I was actually talking to Nikhil about this like 2 days ago. Symbiote lore right now is wild.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
It's insane.
I was reading X-Men.
Right now.
I saw the ad for Venom versus Kang double-sized issue, and I was like, why is he fighting Kang?
It is insane lore. He's Doctor Who. The short answer right now is Eddie Brock is Doctor Who.
Eddie Brock should not be Doctor Who.
It's way better than you think, for what that's worth. It is way better than you think, but it is weird. They're also, reverse Beyonders. That's a whole thing. Okay, so what we need to figure, I like this Savage Land reverse time idea. What we need to figure out is how that creates superhumans. And why is that the case? The easy thing is just like some tech got like leaked out or something. Some future tech got...
I mean, that can explain away, like, you can explain away any human. Like, Iron Man could just be that.
Yeah, you can do some easy stuff with that.
Super Soldier Serum you could also get from that.
Oh, that would be actually interesting.
In fact, actually, that could be, you could just make that Erskine's secret. Because then everyone who is created by trying to rip off the superhero serum stays the same. It's just Erskine has some tech from Savage Land.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. I like that. The secret to Super Soldier Serum is future tech from the Savage Land. That's wild. Okay, I like that. So then that's what do we want to do, quote unquote, first? Like, what do we want the first superhumans to be? Do we want to just have it start with Captain America? Like, that makes enough sense. Someone says Nikhil has an echo. Let me see if I can... Oh, I... Say something, Nikhil?
Hello,
Fixed
everyone. My name is Johnny Mahoy.
Fixed it. Sorry.
He fixed it.
I forgot to change the setting while he was
I've learned to wear headphones.
Oh, no, that wasn't on your end. That was me leaving. It was because I left my music player open and you were coming through the music player and your own audio. Yeah, that was on me.
Basic.
But it is fixed now.
Basic issues here.
Okay. So, Steve Rogers gets the powers from... It's so funny that we're starting with Khazar. That's not where I thought this was going to go.
It's a good start. It's just we back ourselves in if we're trying to, like, create retcons of things that happened in the past by putting it so in the future. Like, having our origin be in the future, essentially, is a problem.
It's interesting. I definitely feel like it'll be good. It's just going to take some work to make it good. Ooh. Okay. You know what I want to think about for a second here? Eternals and Deviants. Because if I know they're not like that, their importance in the Marvel Universe is weird, but if we're doing Celestial stuff, I feel like the Eternals and the Deviants could be very much something that we can get good stuff out of here.
I'd agree.
So, okay. we can have the Eternals be functionally similar, where their thing is like protecting, you know, the machine that is Earth or something like that, but they were designed to be immortal specifically so they wouldn't feel any effects of the time stuff going on, you know?
So it's just a bunch of caveman Eternals?
That could...
That would be...
That would... I don't... Well, no, because they would be... Because I think the idea of this is, like, the Marvel universe that we are seeing is, like, halfway through the Savage Land cycle, right? Because the Savage Land... It'd be cool if it was still dinosaurs. So what that means is, like, the Celestials do this time loop thing in the future. It's not something that we see happen. It's they do it in the future, and then it gets discovered in the modern day at dinosaur times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's going at a faster rate than 1 to 1.
Yeah. Because, again, I think one of the big, like, events of this would be, like, the thing is about to hit its sort of finality.
Okay. Then I take it back. You can do more things that happened in, like, year 10 or something, you know?
You can do...
That's... Because if it's going, like, every year, the Savage Land goes back 100 years.
Yeah, we don't have to have
of time ratio, or something.
But that's the idea.
Yeah, but... I was picturing 1 to 1, but that would make sense for Whiteout.
No, I think it has to be faster.
Eternals are still cool then, because instead of living through all of human history, it's like they still did, but it's backwards. So they've lived through the entire future. That's a cool thing to do.
Yeah, actually, that would be interesting. So they've lived through the future, but they don't know, like, the Eternals would functionally be like time travelers from the future at this point, I would think.
Yeah. And it means that they are not implicit in lots of horrible things like the movie showed.
Yeah.
Necessarily. So that could be fun.
Yeah. Oh, well, wait. But then they would still be... But if we want Savage Land at dinosaur times, that means that stuff's already happened. Did that make sense?
Oh, no, that's true. Yeah.
But we don't
necessarily... the dinosaur situation.
I feel like there's a really obvious solution here that I'm just missing.
You gotta keep it dinosaurs.
Yeah, gotta keep it dinosaurs. That's the episode title for this. Whatever this series is, episode 1, gotta keep it dinosaurs. Let's see. At some point, the Savage Land had to encompass the end of time. Not necessarily, because I think the backtracking would start when the Celestials did their thing.
So a society of some sort in the future creates... No, never mind, not a society. Celestials themselves in the future create this pocket to go back and make more Celestials in the past.
Yes.
So from the moment Celestials choose to do that is where we start.
Yes, exactly.
But that doesn't necessarily mean the end of the universe or anything.
No, does
they
not
could
have
just
to start
on a Wednesday
at that point.
Decided they needed this.
Yeah. So... Oh, wait. We could do an interesting thing. Ooh. What if okay, I have an interesting idea. What if there were people in the time pocket? And, like, there was a society in... there's a society in what is now the Savage Land. Okay.
There's a society in what is now the Savage Land in the universe, that the real one, too.
In the future, though. In the future, when the Celestials decide to do their thing, there's a society in the Savage Land. Some of the people in that society get chosen as the guardians of this place and become Eternals. The rest of them get corrupted and become deviants. And that's where the Eternals and the deviants come from. Is they were living in the time pocket when stuff started.
That's really good, actually.
Yes.
And then what you could have is mutants be one of the deviants or someone, or a group of deviants get out in early human times. And then it's their children that are mutants, because they already kind of implied that with Judgment Day. That was how mutants were born anyway. Okay, cool. So that works. That also has, you can do some interesting stuff with, like, you could straight up make, like, the Eternals more the bad guys in that case, too. Because the Eternals were the ones who are like, yeah, we're going to go through and destroy stuff at... Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, okay, I'm going to write that down. And we'll come up with some specifics here later. So, Eternals, Deviants are residents of the time pocket. We'll just call that.
I do
want to point out again that so far we're basically in line with the normal Marvel universe. We just set the beginning and the future.
Well, yeah, but that's because we've been doing this for
but then we
45 minutes.
The past anyway.
We're gonna be. We got a lot. We got a lot more to do. We're at the early stages. Early stages of this process.
All right.
Okay, hold it. What did Luna say? Okay. You could use the concept of canon to do it, pulling across the Spider-Verse. Celestials are beings that work on they work on plot lines being good. They have woven a story and need to assure it has a beginning, make them meta beings. Eternals become protectors of the canon, deviants become rebellion against it. So do a Spider Society, but with the Eternals.
It's pretty Spider-Verse.
I don't hate that though. I hate that though.
I think it's a little too direct for what you're doing right now.
It's a little direct, but it's interesting. So again, we don't have to come up with like the exact nuances of this. This is just the setup here. So okay, Eternals and Deviants are residents of the Time Pocket. They get corrupted by weird time stuff. The Deviants get corrupted by weird time stuff. Some of them pop out in their future Marvel Universe past in some cases, and create human. Okay. I don't hate that. That's a good idea. So then we have to decide what is the sort of impetus for like the heroic age, right? What is the Fantastic Four, original Human Torch, original Namor, like what starts the heroic age in the Marvel Universe? Do we want it to be Cap getting Super Soldier Serum, or do we want it to be something else?
I don't mind Cap, because it's Cap in 1602.
But then that's good in 1602, but also do we want to do something more different than 1602?
I don't mind Cap.
I don't mind Cap either.
Obviously, in real life, it's the Fantastic Four.
Yes, in real life, it's the Fantastic Four.
Which doesn't make a ton of sense if you take it out of, meta commentary. Like, a lot of people existed before them.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Who's a fun person to start off the Age of Heroes?
I mean, the easy answer is Spider-Man, but like that's also a little basic. If we want to do something more, I'm turning around and looking at my shelves here to try to get some sort of idea.
What you could do that would not make any sense in terms of real continuity, but if you turn it to where Devil Dinosaur is a Savage Land creature, and him going out and finding Moon Girl is what kicks off the Age of Heroes. That would be very different.
In the modern age, so in like 2015, Devil Dinosaur finds Moon Girl, and that's what kicks stuff off.
If we're doing the Age of Heroes, it's the modern age anyway. Fantastic Four was allegedly 14 years ago, so you would just put it back to 14 years ago.
That's such a wild ass concept, Nikhil. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. What's Moon Girl's powers? Is she a mutant? I know what her powers are, but what's the explanation for her powers?
My gut wants to say she's a human or just a normal person.
I'm using all my tech to do stuff right now. So like my research ability is slightly limited. I know she's not a mutant. That was a stupid question because she would be involved in Krakoa stuff if she was. Is she an Inhuman? I think she is an Inhuman. Love the concept, but I'm not sure about hero stuff just showing up now-ish. I'm about to ruin your day. Technically, that is weirdly supposed to be canon in the Marvel Universe. It doesn't make any sense.
That's like a core aspect.
They don't acknowledge it very often, but the Marvel Universe sliding timescale, heroes are always... Think about it as if you are reading a Marvel comic, heroes are always supposed to be treated as a new thing. It's
the Age of Heroes.
Bad.
The idea is that
not bad, but I don't like it.
There has not been heroes for a long time. There is heroes now.
Yeah.
It's to explain like why there wasn't a bunch of heroes in the 1800s.
Yeah. It's weird. So like,
which they later go back and retcon that there were. But you know
a
what?
lot of people like to think about like the Marvel Universe starting in like the 50s or 60s because that's what it started for us, but that is not what it is in universe. It does make it interesting with the whole duality time flow. Oh, wait. Oh, I have an interesting idea, Nikhil. I don't know how this would work out mathematically, but...
Oh, she is a super genius human with latent inhuman lineage. activated by Terrigen Bomb.
Okay, I have an idea, and I don't know if we can make this work, but I think this would be an interesting, like, impetus for things happening. What if, usually, there is some sort of barrier, like, metaphysical barrier between the Savage Land and the rest of the planet that, like, keeps things from going in and out, right? But the impetus for things starting... Hold on, let me turn that off. Is, and we'd have to figure out how the time flow of this works. At some point... it hits the midpoint. It hits the midpoint of, like, where time in the Savage Land and time in the rest of the world are entirely synced up. And for that, like, brief moment in time, there's no barrier, and things leak out.
But that would also be for, like, a second, right? Like, if it's going fast enough to be at the Jurassic Age in 2020, like, that's several thousand years ahead of where we're going.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to do a little bit of, like, it would be a weird time thing, but it would be an interesting... we have to have some way for things to, like, get in and out, and I think the midpoint crossing would be an interesting idea.
I'm fine with it.
Otherwise, we'd have to. Well, we can come up with another idea later. But okay, I don't hate the Devil Dinosaur idea. So Devil Dinosaur gets out of the Savage Land. Reason TBD. Goes and finds Moon Girl, and therefore Moon Girl is the first superhero. I really don't hate that, because then I feel like we could do something that, like, Marvel's definitely going to do in, like, 30 years and have, like, adult Moon Girl being important. Because that's definitely something that we could go ahead and jump to, because that would be really interesting. Okay, so I like that. I like that. Devil Dinosaur breaks out of Savage Land. I mean, he's not from the Savage Land originally, but I don't care.
No,
yeah,
he's not.
He's from Dinosaur World. For those who don't know in the chat, Devil Dinosaur, the character, is from another universe explicitly called Dinosaur World. He is Devil Dinosaur from Dinosaur World, and I'm fine changing that. Finds.
He should be. I think it's one of the animated shows, like Avengers: Earth Might Assembled or whatever. Also has them.
Yeah, because it makes so much more sense. To be fair, I don't know if he was created before the Savage Land was created, but I should zoom in so people can actually, like, read this on their screens. Okay, so I like that. So then the question becomes where, like, she gets... Also, yeah, Moon Girl being the first out and open superhero, especially since she's, like, a child, would be awesome. Yeah, that also is a really interesting dynamic.
No, well, basically, she'd be Spider-Man, right? She'd be this kid that starts out as a kid and then becomes an adult, is like 30.
Moon Girl is the Spider... Like, Moon Girl is, like, one of the Spider-Man type characters of this universe. Which is a wild pitch, but, like, one that I very much like. So...
there we go.
That's cool. Then let's see, what could be our origin for... We need a bad guy, right? We need a first bad guy. Do we want the first bad guy to be another Savage Land thing, or do we want the first bad guy to be unrelated? I feel like either works.
Well, if this is the first hero.
Yeah, this is...
Who's the first bad guy of the Fantastic Four? It's Mole Man,
The
right?
first villain of the Fantastic Four is Mole Man. Though Mole Man also has kaiju, and I feel like we could pretty easily tie kaiju stuff into... Oh yeah, that's thematically appropriate because she's got a dinosaur. So the first thing is she fights Mole Man with his monsters. Dinosaur.
Keep Mole
cool.
Man.
Keep Mole Man. Keep Mole Man. If we ever get to make a movie of this, Jack Black plays him, or I'm canceling the movie.
What? Your goal for Mole Man is Jack Black?
I think Jack Black would 100% kill it as Mole Man, and he would have an incredible time.
I have never heard anyone cast someone who's not Danny DeVito in my entire life.
Think about how Jack Black reacted and did in all the marketing around Bowser.
Think about who Danny DeVito is.
But no, dude.
Think about
Danny DeVito would also be good. Okay, no, chat. One of my mods, make a poll. Mole Man casting Danny DeVito or Jack Black right now. Go. Someone do that.
No one has ever cast anyone that's not Danny DeVito. You were the first person.
But I stand by the fact that Jack Black would be an incredibly good Mole Man. Think about what he did for Bowser in the marketing for the Mario movie. He would have such a good time, and he would be amazing at it. Anyway.
But he's not Danny DeVito, and Danny DeVito was born to play Mole Man. That's why he's here.
Hey, we'll let chat decide. Anyway, point is, keep Mole Man. What's the origin of like the Moloids and his monsters? I forget. Let's look that up. You might get a slight lag spike here while I look this up, but not Mailman, Mole Man.
Chat, proving you don't know who Danny DeVito is.
No, I do. I think Jack Black would be so good, though. I don't deny that Danny DeVito would also be good.
Crazy.
But
crazy talk.
Okay.
Dan DeVito from Mojo? No. Make Jack Black Mojo.
I would also accept Jack Black as Mojo.
Jack Black.
I would also...
That is a better Jack Black.
No. Okay. Wait, about 20,000... The Moloids are deviants?
What?
About 20,000 years ago, the deviants were driven underground by their creators, the Celestials, during an event called the Great Cataclysm. They were human slaves modified by the deviants into Moloids. What the hell? I did not know that. Yeah, so the Moloids are humans modified by deviants. Okay. So, boom. Perfect for our purposes. Bad ethically, but...
Wait, does that mean the Moloids are also mutants? That's a question no one's gonna give a shit about answering. But
they were a supply of... Wait. Hold on. I misread this. They were cut off from their supply of human slaves and therefore biologically engineered a class of slave workers. So they are not humans. They were still made by deviants, though. They were still made by deviants. Oh, wait! Nikhil, your caveman idea! The Moloids can be the modified cavemen. Yes, okay, that's actually, yes, I love this. So they got weird time bubbled, and they're like a class of deviants. The Moloids are like tiny deviants that are the functional cavemen things, and Mole Man, and they got out at the same time that Devil Dinosaur did, and found Mole Man, and that's Mole Man's thing, is he has the monsters, but they're just deviants, and yes, this kicks ass. Okay. Cool.
Love it.
So Moloid, and then we can just say that the his bigger ones are just like ones that are more corrupted. Moloids and Mole Mans.
Yeah. Also, there were bigger cavemen.
Yeah. Deviants that escaped at the same time as Devil. Gonna hold on. Let me zoom this out so people can see. There we go. Okay, perfect. I love this. So the impetus for this like universe is somehow we don't have to figure this out. The wall between the time bubble degrades, things break out, and those things that broke out of the time bubble are like what starts stuff. Do we like this? That's to Nikhil and to chat. Okay. Also, someone's saying, is the screen frozen? There might be some slight lag as I like type things and do stuff because I still run all of these streams off of freaking Mac. Anyway, okay, this is cool. So we don't have to come up with like the origin of Mole Man like as a person beforehand. We don't have to worry about that. So
no, we could do it really easily. Mole Man was a guy who just was already in the sewers underground New York. And then he came across these monsters, and then he just took over.
Is that not what he is already?
I have no idea, but
I can find out in about 2 seconds.
Just a happy guy who was in the right place at the right time to see a swarm of monsters coming, and he just took over.
Okay, apparently Mole Man has way more lore than I thought he did, and I will read this on my own time. Anyway.
That is Marvel's first supervillain. Of course he has lore.
Actually, Nikhil, I'm gonna contest that you saying this is a supervillain from like the 50s probably doesn't necessarily mean he has elaborate backstory. It very much could be he was a scientist who made a thing.
What? Nope. He's the first bad guy.
He might have had. I don't.
All
yeah. Sure. Anyway. So let's see. This is good. So then now in our universe, in our retcon Marvel universe, there are monsters fighting each other in the New York City streets. I think it's pretty easy to have a lot of other things be like a response to that, you know? Like it was in the main Marvel universe. Things yeah, okay. So, where are we at? Devil Dinosaur and the Moloids escape the time bubble, find their respective buddies. They fight. What happens in the history of the Marvel Universe after this? I got my History of the Marvel Universe book here. Fantastic Four. And yeah, we have like the Invaders and stuff, and that's, later. Here we go. Next thing that happened after that was Hulk with the gamma bomb and stuff.
What?
Not
what timeline are you reading? Like that's the next thing that happened. The Fantastic Four went into space, and then there was just
History of the Marvel Universe. I'm taking this as a primary source. We have.
No, but like, is that like just the next comic?
Hold on, I'm
confused. Was it Fantastic Four 1, then Hulk 1? Or like why
No, not necessarily after like Fantastic Four 1, but like narratively look, according to history, it has the Fantastic Four page, you turn the page and it's immediately Hulk. Like this it's hard to tell cuz I'm on the small camera, but this is also Hulk. So
all right.
Yeah, like Hulk, Namor, Doom, like it's you're right, it is a bunch of other things that start happening. I am inclined to make Doom an important thing because I love Doom. But then
I love Doom.
Okay.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
Matt's depressed.
Both of these, yeah, whatever way you want to interpret it, they're probably both true. Anyway, so okay. I think a lot of the other... What's the process for determining this? Vibes. Vibes and two nerds talking and deciding what would be cool. Okay. So, the easiest thing that we have to do is, like, stuff can be made next for the purposes of, like, there's monsters showing up, right? How do we, like people, normal people, governments, etc., trying to make responses to the monsters that have shown up. And they make, a really big monster, and they can call it Gypsy Danger, and then they'll go and fight kaiju.
What?
I'm describing the plot of Pacific Rim, Nikhil. I believe that's what it's called in Pacific Rim, right?
I was like, why are we just...
No. That's from... I just... No, that was Pacific... That's what it's called, right? Am I way off base, chat? That's what it's called for Pacific Rim. I haven't seen that movie in so long. Also, you redeemed a thing in chat. When did we get to Pacific Rim? And yes, okay, so I was right about the name. Doombot. The robot with the best fashion sense. That's the best way I can describe Doombot for you, Nikhil. Is the best fashion sense robot in the Marvel Universe. Anyway, okay, so.
Also, the moment the commercial started on my Twitch, you lost 8 followers. Or 8,
I was about to say 8 followers would be that. Yeah, how many viewers do I even have? I can't see right now.
You have 69.
I'll take that. It's understandable that people leave on ads, but I also need the money, so we have ads now. Let's see. I'm sure people will come back. We're going to hope people will come back.
Also, I've got...
Oh, you got to go? All right. Well, thank you very much, Nikhil, for showing up to this.
No, of course. I look forward to seeing where this
I will be doing this on Mondays, so you're more than welcome to show up for any more of this absolute nonsense.
I could probably keep doing like an hour or something.
All right, cool. So you heard it here first, folks. Maybe more Nikhil. He can probably start doing like an hour or something.
Oh, also, I'm going to try and start doing Twitch myself.
Okay.
And now that you've moved yours up an hour, I think I'm going to literally do the same time, but on alternate days.
Okay.
Because I don't want to compete.
Yeah, like Tuesday, Thursday,
But,
Sunday, Friday, because Friday's a different thing.
Yeah.
If you ever...
Well, Friday, I'd have to get a good audience before I tried to compete on Friday. Because anyone who would watch me would be
that is fair. Oh, remind me, I gotta talk to you later, Nikhil, about stuff for that. Don't get excited, chat. I need to text him about something. Remind me later to text you about something.
Don't get excited, chat. Will do.
All right, cool.
Adios.
All right. Thank you for coming, Nikhil. We will see you later.
I don't know how to leave this, so just hang up
the call. And then I'll turn off your camera.
Okay,
bye. There we go. All right, Nikhil's gone. Everyone say thanks to Nikhil. Go follow him on TikTok if you're not following him on TikTok, because he's funny on TikTok. Let me bring up my my better interface here, and then we will continue. Why does this not work? Oh, I know why it's not working, because I'm stupid. And then we will get back to this. So, we have actually made a lot more interesting progress than I thought we were going to. I have no idea how this was going to work, but we are at a very interesting point here. So, where we are at, as a brief recap here. Also, someone says, do you have some plan to take Nathan's spot in Outlaws of the 7? Nathan is going to be there for like half of it, and then he is not going to be there for the second half of it. That is where we are at. We do not have plans on replacing him in the second half. At least, maybe Panda does. I don't know. But if there are plans, I don't know them. I would not expect them. Okay, so what we have right now for our reset Marvel Universe thing is it revolves a lot around the Savage Land. The Savage Land is sort of a celestial time plan to get more Celestials into the world, the specifics of which we will determine as we go. The Eternals and the Deviants are residents of this time pocket from far in the future that got time traveled backwards, and some of them enhanced and some of them corrupted in the process. The impetus for our heroic age is that some beings from this time bubble break out, that being Devil Dinosaur, Moloids, and maybe others. We will leave the spot open for future things. Devil Dinosaur finds Moon Girl, the Moloids and Mole Man meet up, and then there's a big fight, and we're at the point in the Marvel Universe where things really start going down in the real one, which is the Fantastic Four start doing stuff, except our Fantastic Four is Moon Girl. So now what we have to do is decide where to go from here. This is a great point that we're at. I'm actually super happy with where we're at so far, especially given how little thought I put into this in advance. This is an awesome starting point to be at. Also, very highly viewed stream, too. Welcome, everybody. This hour earlier plan was a very good one. Do you want to go back to other original stuff like the Infinity Stones, Macron Crystal, Phoenix Force, and such? I don't want to worry about that right now. I want to have that flex. I want to get more like impetus for other superhero-y things happening. So, ooh, I just had an interesting idea. Okay, so if you guys will remember, like maybe 30 minutes ago, Nikhil and I were pitching ideas, and we talked about the idea of having Captain America, the secret to the super soldier serum, being something from the Savage Land. What if the thing that makes Captain America, the super soldier serum, the key to that is something to do with the Eternals, like eternal blood or something, and it like sort of puts a little bit of eternal physiology into humans, and that's where super soldier serum comes from? How do we feel about that? How do we feel about connecting Captain America to the Eternals? If the Eternals are beings from the future that were the appointed sort of guardians of this. Ooh, okay. Someone says I like Lil Respect. Thank you. Thank you for showing me. I don't think that says Lil Respect. I think it says Ill Respect. It's very small on my screen. Anyway, this is actually an interesting other idea for a villain of this universe, right? What if we have a hunter from the Savage Land? Not like I realized that was very ambiguous for. Oh, let me start my music back up. We can have music again now that Nikhil's not here. A hunter was a very ambiguous wording for that. What if we had? Hang on, turn your music back up. Is that music working? Also, people keep bringing up symbiotes. Guys, we'll get there. I promise we'll get there. I love symbiotes. We're gonna get there, but have some patience for the love of God. We'll get there. Anyway. What if some Eternal, and it doesn't have to be an Eternal that we know. We can, use another character if we want, just make their origin an Eternal. Breaks out to go hunt down the escaped things, right? An Eternal escapes. Or not escapes, leaves the time bubble to... Ooh. Oh, guys, I have an idea. I have a wild idea. This is totally off the rails crazy, but that's the idea here. So, an Eternal, which in this is like cyborgs from the future, designed to protect this time bubble, right? An Eternal leaves the time bubble to try and go get the escaped creatures, right? And is captured by one Victor Von Doom. What if we have Doom capture an Eternal, learn about the time bubble, like the Eternal is searching the world for stuff, goes to Latveria, Doom catches it, and then Doom learns about the time bubble and gets tech from that. And that's where some of Doom's power comes from. Oh, guys, I've got a really cool idea. Okay. I love this. So, Doom catches the Eternal. And then Doom's big plan is that Doom wants to use this. Doom wants to get into the time bubble and use that to sort of ride the wave back. Oh, we can take inspiration from Secret Wars. Okay. Doom captures the Eternal. His goal then, Doom's master plan, at least for the beginning, get into the time bubble and sort of ride the wave back to the beginning of time, pop out, and use that to take over the world at the beginning of time. What do we think about that? Doom's goal is to try to ride the wave back to the beginning of time and take over from the start. This rules. All right, amazing. This is what we're here for. Eternal Hunter. I'll put in parentheses Icarus. Probably not Icarus, but Eternal Hunter. Come up with who later. Leaves to find escaped creatures. Gets captured by Doom. And also, Doom's power at this point can come from sorcery. Oh wait, Doom tries to become the Celestial. Ooh, that's also interesting. Yeah, he wants to, again, taking inspiration from Secret Wars, he wants to sort of hijack the plan. That's kind of cool. Okay, we'll come back to that. Gets captured by Doom. Doom's power up to this point. Oh, okay. Ooh, wait. Well, no, that comes mostly from magic. This gives him tech. So maybe in this... Oh, okay. I've got an idea here. We'll come back to that. I have more to say on that point. You've really got to create a diagram to better explain the time bubble logic. Okay, I've got an idea. Let me explain that in a second, but let me write this down first. How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna try to explain the time bubble logic here. So I have an idea of how to. I know how to explain it. I just would like to make a diagram. I'm trying to think how to do that. Do I have like a drawing program on this computer? I don't have like MS Paint. I have Pixelmate. Sure. New document. All right. Time for some nonsense, but don't worry about it. I'm a professional when it comes to nonsense. I'm cool with the time bubble, but it's hard to follow. I actually have an idea of how to make this work. Okay, so welcome to the diagram. So, all right. Earth. All right. This is a good start. This is a good start for us. This is Earth right here. This is Earth. Now Earth like most things, can I just get like a pen? We'll use red. We'll use red because it's marble. Earth is going forward in time. So we'll write, hold on. I'll write future. I know you can't see it. Hold on. Future and what the heck? No, there we go. Past. Okay. My views are plummeting. I make a diagram and my views are plummeting. All right, so this is where we're at so far. Right now, Earth is going in the future and the past, right? Okay, so, but on Earth, the Celestials make a little bubble at the bottom, right? Okay, the Celestials make a little bubble. This place is going backwards in time. Okay, does everyone follow me right now? So, the way that this would work, say we have a little man, like, hold on. Hang on. We need a little man. This will work, I think. Perfect. Here's our little man. We need a little man. So, if our little man here, normally everybody on Earth is moving forward in time. Normal, everyone's leaving. So my views are dropping so much. Everyone on the Earth is moving forwards in time normally, right? Not Milo, not Milo from Morbius. Get out of here. But in this little bubble, time is moving backwards, right? So, let's say you spend an hour on Earth. You move forward in time an hour, right? I shouldn't have to explain how that works. That's how time actually works. But let's say you step into the time bubble and you spend 10 minutes there, right? Like you step into the time bubble, you watch an episode of Phineas and Ferb on your phone, and 12 minutes have passed. You come out 12 minutes earlier. Does that make sense? Think of this as a bubble in which time is moving backwards. So any time that you spend in here, it shoots you out earlier. Does that make enough sense? Does that make enough sense? There's more to get to here, but I'll move. So time's going forward, You go in here, time goes backwards. Does that track? Okay. The goal of the Celestials... I'm getting us another PNG. Perfect. This one looks... Oh, this is RSM. Perfect. RSM. The Celestials can only be made at the beginning of time, right? Let's say it's like the Big Bang, something that happens at the beginning of time allows the Celestials to come into being. It either makes them or oh wait, this is actually a cool idea. Okay, let's say the Celestials are really big, right? The Celestials cannot be made if there's matter. This is just becoming a physics lecture, like a fictional physics lecture, but I kind of vibe with that. So, fictional physics lecture. The Celestials can't be made accurately if there's matter, right? Because they're big and they're metaphysical. We don't have to explain why that's the case. We can just comic book hand wave and say that makes sense, right? The Celestials can't be made if there's matter. The universe is full of matter. So no new Celestials can be made or can enter from another universe. We don't have to worry about that, right? The Celestials cannot come into Earth right now. But the Celestials, for whatever reason that we can determine later, want more Celestials. The Celestials want there to be more Celestials. So what they have done is they have created this bubble on Earth, locked into Earth, where time goes backwards. And if you spend enough time in this bubble here, eventually time will go back to like before the Big Bang, where there is no reality and it will allow more Celestials to be made. Is everyone at least 60% following what I'm putting down here, right? The Celestial, you know, you go back in time here eventually. Well, where's the doctor? You grab the doctor. You spend enough time in here, eventually you go back to way before time exists, and then the Celestials get made. Does that track? Enough. I really want positive confirmation from chat here. So one person says yes. Please exercise your right to vote and tell me whether this makes some level of sense. Someone says sure, and I will take sure. Got some questions, but what you're saying is tracking. Remember also, we're doing comic book logic here. Not everything has to make perfect levels of sense, but enough sense for it to make sense. Yeah, so it's a time machine. Think of it as a time machine, but a place, not a machine. Think of it as, you know, it's a big time machine. Think of the Savage Land in our example here like a really big time machine. Explain what looking into the time bubble from an outside perspective looks like. I feel like you definitely couldn't. I definitely think you could not look into the time bubble. I think it would just look like a wall, or maybe like you step into this like weird magic fog or force field and just pop out the other side. Like you couldn't look in. But yeah. Is it not like a pocket dimension kind of thing? No. It's a kind of a pocket dimension thing. It is the beach that makes you old. I went to the beach that makes you old. Yes. Okay. Cool. Interesting. So I like where we're at right now. Do you know what a dark matter universe is theorized to be? I mean, I'm aware of the concept of dark matter. I'm not a theoretical physicist. I'm just a nerd who reads too much lore, and you pick up some theoretical physics when you do that. Does time move back at double time because of Earth time move back while bubble time move back at the same rate? Yes, you definitely do have to, like, this definitely does have to go faster, but we can worry about that later. But, you know, you go in here, time moves backwards. So theoretically, you could exist at, like, the same moment infinity times by going here, waiting, coming out, you know, looping back in and back out. Okay, so. I like this. So, where did I put the doctor? There he is. Kind of like the Hex Barrier from WandaVision. Yeah! Kind of like the Hex Barrier from WandaVision. Alright, that makes sense. So, Doctor Doom's goal. This is not Doctor Doom. That's all Doctor No Doom. Doctor Doom's goal. He finds out about this time bubble in our rewritten Marvel Universe. What if the time reversal speed is increasing? That's also possible. That would also work. Doctor Doom finds out about this time bubble and wants to somehow get into it. Maybe even find it. Maybe that's one of his goals too, is he wants to find it. Like the Celestial doesn't tell him where it is, or the Eternal that he catches doesn't tell him where it is, and he has to find it. And that's like one of the big things that he's trying to do. I think that makes sense. So he's trying to find it and get into it. Once he gets in, he puts himself in stasis for 1,000 years, more than 1,000 years, but you know, for a couple million years, whatever the time is, and then exits and takes over the world. Does that make sense? Does everybody kind of pick up on what I'm putting down here? If you go in the time bubble, do you start at present time, or is it a set time? I don't think you start at present time, because the idea is that this is going to be traveling backwards. So here, let me get more PNGs. We're gonna need more PNGs. Oh, I forgot to put PNG in my search. There we go, PNG. Perfect. Perfect. That's exactly what I needed. Bam. The Eternals. So we'll shrink them. We'll shrink the Eternals. The Eternals are different versions of the Eternals, are from the future. They were chosen by the Celestials at the time of this time bubble creation, like 1 million years in the future, to be the guardians of it, that sort of live in this world as it backtracks. Does that make sense to everybody? So, from the perspective of the Eternals, from the perspective of the Eternals, time is backtracking, right? I think another thing that would be kind of important at this, okay. Shonen Shogun, what's going on? We are doing our own Marvel Universe, and this is by far going to be the worst episode of this, because it's all like weird baseline metaphysical concepts. But yeah. So the Eternals are these sort of special guardians of this world. They can flow, or, you know, they flow with time differently, and they just kind of go this way. One of them escapes this bubble to chase down Devil Dinosaur. By the way, for anyone who just came in, Devil Dinosaur is an escapee from this time bubble. This is so much to recap. We're going to start episode 2 of this next Monday with a better recap, but I don't have the brain capacity to keep working and keep recapping, so you guys are just going to have some patience here. The Eternals pop out. Doctor Doom catches one. Okay, I think we're good on this. Does everyone sort of track with what I'm talking about here? I'm going to try to do a recap here of the cosmology of our new Marvel Universe. The Celestial... Okay. Recap here. At the beginning of time is the only time when Celestials are created, right? They come into existence before the Big Bang. The Big Bang fills the universe with stuff. And no more Celestials can be created because the stuff prevents them coming over from the past universe or creating, you know, more of them, something of that sort. The Celestials can only be made at the beginning of time. Time flows forward normally, blah, 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 blah. Everything's okay. Then, at some point in the future, like millions, if not billions of years in the future, the Celestials, maybe all of them have died out, right? Or we could maybe do something cool here. If you guys, since you guys are so impatient for symbiotes, maybe all the Celestials get killed off by Null. We want to throw Null in here and make them more important. As time goes on, the Celestials get killed off by Null, right? That happens way in the future. I'm going to put our doctor back on Earth because he's just representing a guy. So at some point in the future, Null or whoever kills off all the Celestials. When there is only one or a few Celestials remaining, they want to create more Celestials. They want to do something that will mean that there are more Celestials, so maybe they can win this war against Null and the Abyss or whatever. And so what they do is they go to Earth and probably some other planets, but we're not going to worry about that now. And they create these essentially time machines. They create these pocket dimensions of like reverse time, where time still flows, but it flows backwards very, very weirdly and strangely. So that eventually these little pockets of reality will reach the beginning of the universe, and then they will, you know, go past the Big Bang and create more Celestials, meaning that more Celestials exist. Does that track for everybody? I know it's some time weirdness because it's comic books and we're allowed to have weird time nonsense, but is everyone or most people at least decently on board here? Yes, makes enough sense to me. If you're inside the bubble, leave and come back. Are you time traveling relative to the bubble? I think if you timed it right, if you left the bubble and came back to the bubble and then like left and came back and left and came back, it would be like a Groundhog Day situation where you're able to loop in and out and in and out and in and out and relive like the same moment over and over and over. I feel like we could definitely do some concepts with that, but we'll get to that later. So now, with that established, we can zoom in to Earth. In this case, literally. We don't have to worry too much about this kind of thing. Could Rogue gain the abilities of a Celestial if she somehow got the opportunity to do so? I have no idea. Celestials are like semi-robotic, so I don't know if her powers would work on them. Anyway, so now we get to zoom into Earth, right? We get to zoom into a point on Earth where something happens that breaks down the barriers between... Explain the Groundhog Day to me again? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. There's a lot to cover here. That's not a super important part for now. Okay, so we zoom back into Earth. At some point, this time bubble, something causes it to degrade. The exact details of that can be worked out later, but something causes this time bubble to degrade, right? When this time bubble degrades, some beings that are inside of it escape. Those beings are, you know, dinosaurs, like Devil Dinosaur gets out. The Moloids get out because our version of the Moloids are going to be deviants that were got corrupted by the time loop, right? They're going to be corrupted. So they get out. Also, they find Moon Girl and Mole Man, respectively. Those are going to be our first hero and our first villain in this universe. They have a fight. That's basically how the first issue of Fantastic Four goes down. It's just not with the Fantastic Four. It's with Moon Girl and Mole Man. Okay, cool. So now we have superheroes. superheroes that are based on dinosaurs from the future. I love how stupid that is. I vibe with it. That's cool. Another person that escapes during this time is an Eternal. The Eternals in this world are like the appointed guardians of the time zone. The Savage Land, weird time bubble zone. They were made in the future by the Celestials. They were like humans that got upgraded and ascended. And now they sort of protect the time bubble as it's going backwards, right? One of them gets out to find the creatures that escaped and bring them back in so that it doesn't, jeopardize the sanctity of the time stream or anything like that, and gets captured by Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom, we're going to say he's like a master of sorcery. He's probably less of a tech guy at this point, but he finds the Eternal tech and he uses it to upgrade his own tech. Maybe he uses it to make the Doom bots, blah, 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 blah. He learns about the time bubble. He does not learn where it is, but by maybe killing and analyzing the Eternal, he figures out that there is a time bubble that happens and wants to get in, put himself into stasis, and then pop out at the beginning of time so that he can use his power to rewrite history and make it so that he always was in charge of reality. Inspired very intentionally by 2015 Secret Wars. Are we still vibing with this? Are we still vibing with this, right? Now we have our first heroes. We have our first big villain. His goal, time travel back in time, rewrite history, like Secret Wars, like Battleworld. Okay. So, now, where do we want to go from here? Where do we want to go from here? We have some cool stuff for the setup. This is the impetus, is things breaking out of this time bubble. And just for note, this concept can be refined later. Again, I came up with this idea to, even do this rewrite this afternoon. So it's not like it's had a lot of advanced planning. Thanks to Nikhil, we're at this point. I don't think we would even be at this point otherwise, but thanks to Nikhil, we are doing pretty good. So, let's see. Where do we want to go from here? Actually, we are at about an hour and 40 minutes. I've had to drink a lot of water because of all the hydrate awards. So I think I'm going to take this opportunity to take a very quick bathroom break, refill my water, etc., etc. I'm also going to think while I am gone about exactly what I want to do next. You guys think and chat as well. Don't go anywhere. You guys can, listen to the music and etc., etc. Pitch me any ideas of what heroes you want to see integrated next. We'll talk about that. When I return, we'll get back to the chaos of this rewritten world. So give me 2 minutes. I'll be back in just a second and we will continue. All right, I'm back, and I had some level of idea while I was gone. some level. Let me see what chat said. Also, people are really wanting Ghost Rider, which is kind of funny. Ghost Rider is actually fairly independent concept. Oh god, one of my friends is texting me, and he always texts me when stupid Spider-Man things are happening. Hold on, I actually want to see what... I might have Spider-Man news. Not about this, just in general. Hold on, Oh, dang it, it's on my phone. Alright, rip, never mind. Okay, ignore that. Sorry, I was going to see if I could read my friend's message, but my computer messages haven't synced yet. Okay. So, we need to do mutants and humans early. Mutants, at least. I don't know how we necessarily want to do in humans, or if we even want to bother doing in humans. That's kind of a separate thing. Right now, I think we need to focus on like overview, and then we can do specific character stories later. This episode of this, I don't know why I put episode in quotes. I'm doing this more. This is about doing stuff. This is about setting up the rules of the universe, and we'll talk about specifics sort of later as we go. So, another interesting idea that we could use to pull in some more cosmic stuff to this universe. They're apparently doing a sequel for Spider-Man. Oh, yeah, you're right. That is probably what he's texting me about. I heard about that, and I don't care, and I'm going to get asked about it a million times, and I'm not going to read it. Anyway, start the pantheons, gods, and deities. Well, here's what I'm kind of thinking that's almost on those lines. If we want Null to be a big bad of this universe, I don't hate that idea, right? So let me actually make some sort of notes for this here. So Celestials can only be made when there is no matter, right? That's one of those things that we're just going to accept. Over the existence... oh, wait, okay. Okay, wait, but this is an... But, okay. I'm thinking about Null here, and there's an interesting problem. Wouldn't Null want there to be nothingness in the universe? Isn't that kind of his thing? I know I sort of soft pitched the idea of like, oh, Null's killing all the Celestials, but like, if the Celestials are trying to reverse time back to like nothingness in certain areas, maybe Null also wants to hijack it. Right? Like, maybe that's one of the big things of this universe is, like, everyone is rushing to hijack this time bubble. The Celestials want it because they want to create new Celestials. Ooh, okay. So, we can pull another thing. No. We can, King of Black, you're right, but we can pull another thing from the Eternals movie. We can pull another thing from the Eternals movie here. So, we could say, I'm going to pull the diagram up again, right? If this Earth time bubble thing goes off, it will create a sort of nothingness pocket that a new Celestial will be born from. But it's limited, right? It's a limited pocket. It is going to definitely destroy Earth and maybe like the solar system. But that's all. It's not going to, detonate and destroy the whole universe because the Celestials wouldn't want that. The Celestials just want there to be more Celestials. So their plan is to create these limited pockets of nothingness that can serve as the MCU. It's the planets are celestial eggs concept, but weirder, right? It's the planets are celestials concept, but weirder, where they want to create these little pockets that will destroy the planet that they're on, but will birth a new celestial. Null wants to hijack it and make it bigger. Null wants the experiment to just go off and not be limited and break everything. Right? So does that track? Null wants the experiment to go off, but he wants it to be unlimited. So Doom, yeah, and then okay. This is interesting. Because we can have it very much be a thing where like, yeah, all the big bads of this universe are all trying to like rush to hijack this thing. Rush to find it, to hijack it. Okay, that's cool. I like this. I like this concept. So, over the existence of everything. Reptile Claw, thank you for the follow. By the way, if people are following during this and I don't see it, I'm sorry. My brain's running in 3 different directions at once right now because of just what has to happen for this brainstorming process to work. Over the existence of everything, Null kills off most Celestials. The Celestials create the reverse time bubble to make more Celestials. And then that progresses. So, the Sirens, yeah, I live kind of close to a fire station, so that happens sometimes. Okay, this is interesting. The Eternal Hunter leaves to find the escaped creatures, get captured by Doom. Doom's new goal is to take over to start time. Okay, cool. So, then, next thing, Null detects the Eternal, right? Null detects the Eternal that leaves the bubble, okay? Null detects the Eternal and realizes that it is something from the future, and he uses that to, much like Doom, figure out what the plan is, that the Celestials have this reverse time bubble. And then Null wants to hijack it too and make it bigger. This can actually set up to a very cool thing where we can have a sort of enemy of my enemy situation during at least one event where, like, the heroes kind of have to team up with Doom to try to find the Savage Land, because Doom is like, hey, so I know you guys don't really want me finding this bubble because I'm going to try to use it to take over reality, but, like, if Null gets to it before us, he's going to use it to blow everything up. So, like, work with me and you'll deal, you know, we can fight later, but let's take care of the bigger threat now. Does that track? And also, yes, it does, the localized thing does explain why the time pocket is on Earth, right? So that is cool. That is cool. How are we feeling about this idea? How about, so the Eternal escapes. People notice this. Doom wants, okay. And then, yeah, I love this. I love this concept. It does, and it sounds cool, especially when we do more heroes. All right, awesome. So this I think is the setup for, like, our first thing. Like, I think setup for our first arc is pretty much done, right? I mean, obviously, it's not organized or explained well, but the base concept is there, right? So the goal of, like, the first sort of chapter of our redone Marvel Universe is that there's this time bubble that's going to either destroy the Earth or destroy everything, and everyone wants to find it, and then eventually, like, the heroes team up with Doom, and Doom, you know, to... Okay, this is cool. I'm so bad at explaining things when I'm running this fast, but this is fine so far, but we need other ideas completely separate from the time bubble. We totally do. Let me remind everybody, and I guess say this for people who joined recently, this says episode 1 in the title. We're going to be doing this more. This is not a one-time thing. What this episode is this episode is setting up our, like, early cosmology. We will go in and do, like, specific characters, arcs, and things like that, but this is setting up the overarching rules of our universe, not as much specific character stuff. And then we will get into more specifics maybe a little bit later tonight and then on, like, future weeks. I did not fall asleep. Rip Amy. All right. So, this is cool. This is cool. I think from here, we can start doing some slightly different stuff. You're right. Someone said, I saw, this was something I thought of earlier that I didn't actually say. Yeah, here we go. The idea I had earlier is that Moon Girl and Mole Man's emergence causes the U.S. government to greenlight a bunch of experiments that lead to characters like Hulk, F4 Man-Thing, Spider-Man, etc. Yeah. That is probably the thing that happens next. This is just, yes, correct, Lacrimosa. This is basic world building, like how everything functions and things like that. This is the show Bible, to reference something I've been referencing on the Ben 10 series. This is the show Bible, and we will establish things later. So, now, sort of what happens after Moon Girl gets things. It is very easy to just say, like, oh yeah, the U.S. government, you know, green lights things that make a bunch of characters, but I do want to switch things up a little bit. I don't want to say it's like, oh yeah, there's a gamma bomb and they make the, you know, I don't want Hulk's origin to be the same except for the reason they made the gamma bomb, right? I do want it to be changed a little bit. Does that make sense? I like the idea of Spider-Man being an alien, but we'll get there when we get there. Because Spider-Man, I think, has to be like, well, we'll get there when we get there. So, you know what? Screw it. Let's do a character. It should be a character who was okay. This is so hard to phrase when I'm just improvising and going off the cuff here. Yes, you're right. Once kaiju start fighting in New York City, people start greenlighting wilder weapons and military experiments to do things. Let's pick a character who would have an origin tied to that and do their thing. Let's pick that. Let's do that next. Let's do that next. Definitely not Venom yet. Thor is in here. F4? Do we want to do... Okay, people are saying F4. I'm seeing a lot of people saying F4. All right, so the F4... let me look up like the weird... I thought I turned you off. This thing is doing something very annoying, which is there's a number threshold for my blood sugar at which it beeps, and it's like floating up and down and above it and around it. It's very annoying. Okay. I want to remind myself of the exact origin of the Fantastic Four. And before people are like, why are you, of all people, trying to remind yourself about the Fantastic Four? Specifically, I want to remind myself of what exactly the cosmic rays were that gave them their powers, if there's even an explanation beyond cosmic rays. Because I know the weird thing is they just, you know, they... Okay, it's weird. I forgot how weird it is. Right. I think we just do that differently. Yeah, so for those who don't know, the Fantastic Four got their powers because the cosmic radiation was like a communication signal sent by another planet, and it's weird and not good. Why are there ad breaks? There are ad breaks now because I'm trying to do content full time and I need money. I don't like it. I probably like it less than you guys do. I actively encourage you guys not to watch the ads. Like, leave them open on your computer, but like, go to the bathroom, go get a snack. Like, don't watch the advertisements. I don't care if you do that. Just let them play and go do something else. Matthew, do the Defenders. It makes sense for their powers to be from experiments on the population, and they're the right demographic for what would be experimented upon. That is also interesting, because there were very much like weird military experiments on minority communities that have happened in the past. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Are we going to have World War II and prior origin heroes still tied to it like Cap and Magneto? I probably am not going to touch on that as much. We might still make Cap tied to it, but like, I don't really care about military history, and I don't know anything about it and don't really want to learn. So we're probably going to stay away from that. Okay, so we could do Defender. Let's do some F4 stuff, because I think the F4 is definitely worth talking about first. I like Amy's idea about the well, okay, we could do the F4, we could do the Defenders. See, this is why it's hard to do this entirely just live on stream, but I think that's also part of the charm of this stupid nonsense. So, hey, we have our bear bombs, though. That's farther than I thought we were going to get today, so I'm pretty happy. Defenders would be great. Would Moon Girl fit in with them? Well, here's the thing. I believe Amy is talking about Amy's talking about Netflix Defenders. Yes, not like Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, Hulk, Valkyrie Defenders. That's a very different thing. We can only do one, or we can do one of them before the other and say they happen around the same time. We can. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to stall as I decide in my head which of them I have a better idea for. That's what's happening right now. I'll pull back the curtain for everybody. So, the Fantastic Four cosmic radiation thing. I mean the Netflix ones specifically. Yeah. Specifically, Matt Murdock's Defenders. Oscorp could be made because of the military science idea that they can make all the science-based superheroes. Yeah. What was the reason for founding Oscorp in the comics? Is it literally just like Norman Osborn's company, or does he have? Is there like a thing? Created and ran by CEO Norman Osborn. It's connected to Robot Master, which is weird, but okay. So, yeah, there's not a specific thing that does create, Ooh. Oh, I have a weird pitch. I have a very weird pitch here. Okay, I'm gonna need somebody to fact check this. I'm gonna recruit like Saint or Luna or someone who's very good at Marvel stuff, and I want you to. I want to recruit somebody for it. What if we made Norman Osborn fill the Tony Stark role of this universe? Like, what if Norman Osborn became the primary military contractor, and then he was the one that got captured and had the shrapnel? Has that happened? That's why, has that happened? I need somebody to research. Yeah, do an Iron Patriot thing. Has that happened in the comics? I feel like that is one of those things that is within the realm of believability. So I want somebody to check it. Has Marvel done an AU? Let me see. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Osborn. We're gonna look at some AU Osborns. Virgil. Okay, let's see. We're gonna do what we did for the Peter Parker stream, and we're gonna scroll through all these Osborns. Fairy Godmother. Huh. Okay. Anyway. That's 1602. Iron Man 2022 past. Galactic Goblin. Oh, that's 2099. Don't have to worry about that. Fairy Godmother Slay. I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Okay. Green Gobbler. Marvel Apes. Ben Parker lived. Humorverse. Legacy Virus. Two-Face Goblin. It's Amalgam. Iron Man. Now this says Secret Invasion, but I want to look at that. I'm just gonna pull up any that look interesting. We're gonna look at them afterwards. So Hawkeye killed Norman Osborn. That's after the fact. Goblin King. I have read that. It's an interesting one. Now we are notably in like some lower stuff here. Like your lower notability stuff here, so I don't think we're gonna find anything, but I wanna just scroll through and check. I know this is gonna take a hot second, but like this will be worth it. I feel like that just deserves. I feel like this just deserved a little shout out. Anyway, moving on. I guess we'll look at this one now. Obtain the cure for the virus of the Skrulls, stealing Tony Stark's armor to protect himself from... Okay, no, that's nothing. It's fun. I really feel like I've seen something that says Iron Goblin before. Like, I feel like I've seen an Iron Goblin. But I don't know where, and I'll Google that too in a second to make sure I'm not crazy. Okay, now we're into current reality unknown. So current reality unknown doesn't really matter. There's not going to be a live action of this. Probably nothing here. Doubtful anything video game version. Others are an irrelevancy. Okay. Let me check Iron Goblin, because I really feel like I've seen that before, but it might be Tony. It is Tony. Okay, so this is yes. I know. This is the inverse of the concept I'm talking about here. This is Tony as Goblin, not Goblin as Tony. Okay, cool. So cool suit. I like this suit, by the way, but I like that idea. So, in this reality, Norman Osborn, not Tony Stark, gets like the high level military contract. He's the one that goes to it's probably still the Middle East, right? Wherever Iron Man's sliding timescale origin has put his origin right now, and he becomes the new the Iron Patriot. I mean, we have Iron Patriot be like one of the main guys of this universe. Do you have a favorite comic panel / page? To be honest, I don't know of any that jump to mind. I would have to think about it. Okay, so This is a separate sort of chapter, so I'm not gonna do like headings and stuff. But military looks for things to deal with monster threats. Norman Osborn gets contract, ends up with, just for shorthand, I'm going to say ends up with Tony Stark origin. Iron Patriot. Okay, cool. So, Norman Osborn gets the contract, ends up with Tony Stark origin, Iron Patriot. Now, the cool thing about this is we can do a very much like Oscorp is responsible for a bunch of things in the Marvel Universe, because we can very much have Norman Osborn be responsible for a whole bunch of stuff, right? I mean, that's a thing in a lot of Spider-Man adaptations anyway, is that Oscorp is the one that makes like a bunch of the tech for the Spider villains. So we can have Osborn be a big problem in New York City. What happens to Tony? We can deal with that later. But Iron Patriot becomes the again, sort of a fake hero in this universe. We can take some ideas from my Thunderbolts pitch, right? We can take some ideas from my Thunderbolts pitch. We put Dark Avengers in here early. So now that he's Iron Patriot, what is he gonna do? Obviously make more stuff, right? So, ooh. Oh, I just got a kick-ass idea. Oh, I just got a kick-ass idea. Okay, guys, here's my pitch, alright? Here's my pitch. Hold on, first, explain character badly. Bats. I'm sorry I was reminded of him and I love it. Bats definitely has the power to take on Dormammu. Wink, wink. That's my pitch. That's my thing for Bats. Anyway. So, if we want to take this idea of... Okay, so... Norman Osborn does not get the Goblin formula. This Norman Osborn is Iron Patriot. He is not a Goblin. But he does do some work with Goblin formula stuff and other weapons tests, right? He does, the Goblin formula, but mixing with some other stuff. One of the experiments involves a scientist by the name of Bruce Banner who gets exposed to various technologies, becoming the Gamma Goblin. Hulk, Green Goblin in this universe. What do we think? Gamma Goblin, Bruce Banner gets Hulk and Goblin formula, and it joins Osborn's Dark Avengers. What do we think about that? What do we think about that? Okay. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Oh god, I hate it, you should do it. Yeah, also, okay, cool. So, does experiments on things. And we can make up a couple of these, right? Bruce Banner, Gamma Goblin. Interesting, but how does that affect Hulk stuff in general? We can worry about that later. One thing at a time. And given gamma radiation, pretty solid. Would Gamma Goblin be similar to 1610 Goblin? I'm thinking like 60% Hulk, 40% Goblin. We don't have to worry about that. Good day to you. I am new to your Twitch channel. Well, welcome. Welcome. Is it the best song? Yeah, the best song came in late today because I turned it off for Nikhil. Okay, so, cool. Does experiments on things. Bruce Banner, Gamma Goblin. I love that. That's so... It's very cheesy, but it is very comic book cheesy. And I think that that's the right kind of cheesy that we should be operating on, right? So, Norman Osborn creates Bruce Banner, Gamma Goblin. What else do we want to have him create? Well, we can do some Spider-Man villains, right? Not symbiotes. Symbiotes can be another thing later if we're making Null part of this universe. So, what other things could Osborn mess up and create? Again, because I like the idea of him creating his Dark Avengers. I like the idea of jumping into this world's version of Reign, like, faster. Weapon X Project is a farther... Ooh, wait. Oh, you're right. Auto. Oh, Auto. We could definitely have... I'm so tempted to just make Auto Spider-Man in this universe, but I also don't... I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I have another pitch for Spider-Man, but... Electro, Mysterio... Here's the... yeah, we could, because having this... this Dark Avengers idea that is also like half Dark Avengers, half Sinister Six is cool. You know, having this this half event. Yeah, okay. So Norman Osborn is going to create one of the team. We don't necessarily have to call them the Avengers. We can have another team. Placeholder name is the Dark Avengers based on the Siege. I keep saying Reign. I don't mean Reign. I mean Siege. Ignore that. Sandman is a sentient meteor that's solidified by Oscorp. That's an interesting idea. Okay, I'm trying to think who could we fit into this universe, because we gotta give them different, right? I want to make them at least slightly different. I don't want to just not that the Sandman one was different. I'm trying to think of something else. Let's see. Let's do heroes first, because villains are easy. What other characters? So, what favorite Wasteland version of Marvel characters? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a huge Wasteland universe fan. I don't think it's bad. It's just that post-apocalyptic vibe is not really my favorite type. Probably just Logan then by default. Old Man Logan. Luke Cage. I don't think Luke Cage, because he would not go along with this kind of thing. Because these Avengers are definitely going to be like the military contracted, you know, again, I don't want to call them the Avengers. I want to give them a different name, but we'll deal with that later. I want these to be real superheroes, but I want them to be kind of shitty superheroes. Not that bad, but like, you know, these are military superheroes. They are not, they're Oscorp controlled military superheroes. Jack Murdock Daredevil. Oh, that's a wild pitch. That's a wild pitch. What other... Let me look through this book here. What other ideas for like early superheroes could there be? There's Namor, but I don't think Namor would fit in this vibe. Not the F4. We'll keep the F4 separate. Not Tony. I don't want to put Tony in here. Definitely not Black Panther. We need to figure out mutants as well, but mutants will be a problem for later. We could do a man thing if we wanted to do a very different man thing. Oh, Yellow Jacket. Yeah, we could do a Hank Pym. We could definitely put a Hank Pym in here. Hank is enough of an important character and enough of an often morally questionable character that we could 100% put a Pym in here. Yeah, I mean that can be just pretty simple. Like, he just works under Oscorp there. Ant-Man and the Wasp can be... Yeah, I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp can be fine. Okay. Kraven gets experimented on and has his DNA mixed with a predator, animal, or multiple. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Ooh, okay. Here's an idea. This could showcase a little bit of like the corrupt stuff for oh, okay. Sorry, I'm this is not like good stream audio as I just say sentence fragments to myself as I'm trying to think through things. But we could have it be a thing in which like, what if Kraven... Using this for my own universe pitch, but I enjoy her concept a lot. Nadia Ultron? What? Explain yourself, Luna. Of course, add in the middle of a sentence. Don't worry, it was not an important sentence. I'm just trying to talk through some nonsense as I talk here. Maybe we come back to this, because I like this concept. Hawkeye, but he gets recruited from the circus straight to Oscorp. I think he needs some sort of upgrade, though. He needs some sort of upgrade. You've never seen my Totem Universe pitch. I don't think I have. I don't think I have. Thoughts on the Kraven the Hunter trailer? I thought it was very generic. Which is why I'm kind of trying to think of, like, some stuff for Kraven now. I feel like I need to save Kraven for when Nikhil's here, too. Because Nikhil likes Kraven a lot. I have rough concept art. Ooh, cool. Send that to me later. Ooh. Here's an idea. We could have, oh, we can pull some inspiration. Okay. We can pull some inspiration from Spider-Man Far From Home. We can pull some inspiration for Spider-Man Far From Home here. What if Mysterio, fully, like, in the same context that he was in Far From Home, like, pretending to be a sort of Superman-esque hero, what if Mysterio was part of this team and was just, like, Quentin Beck was, like, one of Oscorp's guys who was just, like, in charge of, like, Oscorp's PR guy, basically. Oscorp's PR guy, and they make Mysterio as a whole fake character. Like, Mysterio's not even, like, a person at all. There's not even anyone in the suit. Like, Mysterio's just fully a hologram all the time. And he's, like, a PR guy that they send to... Yeah, okay. I like that. Mysterio is fully just a PR stunt. Fully a PR stunt, just hologram. So, you know, he has, like, tech and stuff. Yeah, we just pull Far From Home's Mysterio, where it's, like, the tech guy with drones, like, Mysterio. Oh, yes! Wait! No, this is a really cool idea. I love this. Mysterio, yes, I love this. Quentin Beck is the team's guy in the chair and has the Mysterio persona as, like, covers for his drones. I'm like, he does stuff, but he's never on the battlefield. He's always just chilling back, and Mysterio... Yes, that's amazing. That rules. Quentin Beck is the evil Avengers, or, like, evil Avengers guy in the chair. I love that. I love that. That's awesome. Very much cool. And yeah, he functions as their guy in the chair. He also functions as, like, their PR guy. He is both... Okay, yeah, Evil Oracle. Yes, kind of like that. Awesome. Love this. And he still has the hologram, and he still has drones and stuff. That rules. Okay. What other characters do we want? I like the idea of making this 3 heroes, 3 villains, or like 3 former heroes, 3 former villains. We need... That would mean we need two more heroes with rewritten origins, 1 more villain with rewritten origins, because we want to cast or keep Osborn. Osborn counts on this team of 6. Okay, Taskmaster was hired onto the team. No, I think Taskmaster. We want this to be like. I want this to be a really bombastic team because I feel like that's what Osborn would do. You know, Osborn would not have like that's why I've been skeptical of like Hawkeye, Daredevil. I want this to be very much like I don't. Yeah, okay. I still like Octavius on there. Yeah, Doc Ock does make sense. Do we? I mean, like we can literally just have like Superior Octopus. We could just have Superior Octopus straight up. I mean, he wouldn't be called that. He wouldn't be called that. But okay, yeah, that's an interesting idea. So Doc Ock is definitely on the table. Feel free to shoot this down. Reed Richards is a frontman collaborator for Oscorp, essentially the face while Norman handles the dirty stuff. Norman can be the face, is the thing. Norman's usually the face. Let me look up some early Avengers rosters here, because I want this to be a hybrid. And yes, I know the Avengers are like the Pims, and I can name you the original Avengers roster easily, but I want to go through and find some more creative stuff to pull. It is surprisingly hard to find just the Avengers by Googling them, because the movie is the only thing that comes up. Here we go. Okay. Not Moon Knight. Moon Knight's gonna be more important in this universe. Okay, so a Pym is definitely like the easy option. I think that is probably the best. Ooh. Here's an idea. Okay. Think about this. And this is another one where like this might have happened at some point. So Pym is on the team, right? Hank Pym is on the team. This team is a very like public eye, high profile thing. But they're also kind of garbage. I don't think they're going to be full villains, but they're not going to be the best, right? After sort of realizing this, Janet takes some of Pym's stuff and becomes a vigilante to try to like do some good that her husband is not doing, right? So it's not Ant-Man and the Wasp, they're separate entities because Janet is like, yeah, my husband's on this team, but like kind of garbage. So I'm going to steal some of his tech, make my own thing, and go also be a superhero separately. I also love that because like she wouldn't be making the tech, but she'd be making her own costume, which like if we keep like the superhero is married to the high profile fashion designer, like that's kind of fun. She makes her own costume with the tech. That's great. Okay. Yeah, Janet forms the actual Avengers in response to the government team. Yes, cool. Love this. Hank Pym, Hank Pym, Ant-Man. And I'm gonna go ahead and Wasp, or I guess I should say Janet. Janet becomes Wasp, vigilante. In response to the team not being good. Not being good. Okay, cool. Love this. Like this idea. This is cool. Yes, I like this. All right. That sounds kind of like a regrettable superhero that Panda's talked about. Which one? Something I said or something chat said? Which are you referring to? Anyway, I love this. So we still need more hold on. I've got an idea here. Just someone also I'm gonna put chat to work on this one. Someone find me a word that starts with S that sounds more heroic that we can put in front of 6. Because I would love for this team to still be the something 6. But not sinister, you know? Someone find something of that note. There's a few origins about stealing hero equipment. It ain't new. Oh yeah. That's kind of Superior 6 has also happened, and it's also kind of too evil, I think. Superior 6 has happened, and it is kind of the Sensational 6 is. I kind of like that. That's sensational. Sensational 6 is very 60s in a way that I do enjoy. I like that. Spectacular 6 is because that rips Spectacular Spider-Man. Oh, Legion, that's really Spider-Man actually said, a couple people said it and I just missed it. But yeah, Spectacular 6 rips Spectacular Spider-Man. So I love that. All right, so that's our Norman Osborn team. Like the first superhero team in this world is the Spectacular 6. Yeah, that rules. Does experiments on people making the Spectacular 6. I love that. All right, cool. That's not how you spell that at all. Spectacular 6. Cool. Okay, yeah, we're doing that for sure. Moon Girl's relationship to the 6 we're going to work on, but I want to make the team first. Because again, this is less specific like character things. I know that's kind of what we're on right now, but like right now we're doing sort of like villains. This is the setup. They call Spider-Man the Sinister Spider-Man, even though he's not that bad of a guy. Yeah, we'll do interesting stuff with that. I think we can do some cool things with that. Let's see. So we need what? 1, 2. We need two more Spectacular 6 members. One more former hero. One. How do I phrase this? One more hero inspired one, and one more villain inspired one. I think Loki being on the wild pitch here, because people keep suggesting Loki, and I was like, no, I'm not really feeling Loki being on the team, even though it is a thing that Loki was the reason that the Avengers formed in the first time. Oh my god, oh, I love this. Mysterio is Loki. He's not using tech, he's just straight up using magic, but he pretends it's tech. The Mysterio on the Spectacular Six is just Loki messing with shit. Oh my god, I love that. I love that. What do we think about that, chat? I think that's fantastic. What about Quentin, or does he not exist? No, it would be Loki. But yeah, like that would be so cool. Okay, so yeah, Loki, Mysterio in this case is just Loki, and that can be a thing too, because it can never be revealed. He's just like, oh yeah, he just has cool illusion tech, and then like, yeah, okay, cool. I very much like this. Yeah, he could screw with the team, call it tech issues. Yes, Loki in disguise as Quentin, as disguised as Mysterio. Yes, exactly. Love this. And that is a nod to the original Avengers too. Oh, that's so good. Secretly Loki. Okay, love this. Love this. Oh, okay, and then, oh, even better. This is set up for later arcs, so I'm not going to write this down, but there could be a thing where, like, eventually the real heroes expose Norman for his team being garbage, and then Norman, like, somehow, either Loki reveals himself intentionally, or something happens, you know, the team gets exposed, Norman pins it all on Loki, and then Norman gets to keep being a bad guy. Love that. Cool. Okay, so we need one more. Actually, no, we don't. That didn't count as one. That didn't count as one. So we need an original Avengers character, and we need a Spider-Man villain. That's what we need right now. Spider-Man villain and original Avengers character. Or close to original Avengers character. I don't really want to put Cap on this. I don't really want to put Cap on this team. So let's look at some other options. I'm also not against putting the Masters of Evil into this, but later. There's got to be a master list of, like, Avengers rosters, right? All Avengers rosters, list of Avengers members. Oh! This is literally exactly what I needed. Thank you, Wikipedia. Yeah, this is exactly what I needed it to be. Original team, and then all the specific. Okay, cool. Wow, easy. Okay. Iron Man, Thor, Wasp, Ant-Man, Hulk. Thor. I feel like we definitely can't have Thor in the original team if Loki's also there. I feel like we need something else for that, and we can set that up later. We've already handled everyone else on this list. Cap's Kooky Quartet adds Hawkeye, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch. Since we're not touching mutants yet, before someone yells at me, yes, I know that their mutant status has changed about 1 billion times, but for the sake of this, we're not going to worry about that yet. The Mighty Gods Squad adds Hercules, Black Panther, Vision, and Black Knight. And then I think we're in the 70s, and we're a little late to be putting people on here. Clash is a Spider-Man villain. He's underrated, in my opinion. I mean, Clash is cool. We could 100% put smaller name characters on this list. Another... Ooh. Well, no, maybe... Okay, let's think about roles. Let's think about roles, shall we? Like, team roles. We have our illusion, like, tactics character with Mysterio / Loki. We have our bruiser in the form of Gamma Goblin. Norman is the brains. Ant-Man is kind of secondarily brains. What if Rhino finds the Crimson Gem of Sidorak? Are you secretly Zapdos in disguise, Spider-Man 2713? People who are new to this channel are probably very confused. Zapdos is a person, not the Pokemon. There should be at least one woman on the team, unless they're also going to be, like, hella sexist. I mean, it is Norman Osborn, so it's not like this is a good team. We're not making the paragons of representation and equality here. These are the bad guys. Because, like, especially we were explicitly having, like, Janet become Wasp in response to these guys kind of being shitheads. So, Zap is doing D&D tonight, so sadly he's missing his fun. Ah, rip. He'll see it later. Stiltman could be funny if he's, like, an actual important member of the universe. Later. What if Quentin Beck is, like, the Donald Blake to Loki's Thor? Yeah, something like that would work. The thing is, I want this to be big names, right? I want this to be big names. We could do Kraven. No, let's focus on the Avenger first. Because I'm gonna if I have to set my brain to Sinister Six and then Avengers and keep bouncing back between them, I'm not gonna be paying attention. So let's look at some more Avengers here. Avengers members, and it can be like, ooh. You know what would be interesting? Ooh, I have a... Is there a way that we could somehow combine Ultron and or Vision with the original Human Torch? Like, Hank Pym and Osborn work together to create something, combining... I'm forgetting his name. I'm forgetting his normal name. He has a human name that I do not remember. And we have the... So this would be our first quote-unquote new character. Not Johnny Storm. No, for those who don't know, there's a different Human Torch before Johnny Storm, who was a robot that basically could set himself on fire and fly around. Different character, distinctly. Jim Hammond. Thank you, Jim Hammond. That's his name. Okay, so that's cool. That's a cool idea. And I guess it probably has to be the sort of Ultron. It has to be the combined Ultron that is not... but what do we... Okay. Oh, wait, we can just call him Wonder Man! Wait, yeah, we just call him Wonder Man! Norman Osborn and Hank Pym create this energy-based robot, and I just gave a concept for exactly that. Did you? I didn't see it. Victor Shade, aka Wonder Man, is the energy-based one to activate the Vision. Oh, we're in this, our brains are connected here then. Okay, cool, we just call him Wonder Man. So yeah, it's not Vision though, I think it has to be Ultron. I think it has to be the Ultron allegory here. Not allegory, but like the Ultron equivalent, that's the one I was going for. And he is like a fire-based android. Like, okay, hold on, there's a specific thing. Give me a second here. I've got something in mind, but I have to pull up an image, and it's gonna take a second. Is it this one? Not that one. Is it this one? That wasn't really what I was thinking of either, but it'll work. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so this is a Destiny thing, from Destiny, the video game. That I imagine he would look something like this, right? Something like this, where it's like it is a fire-based android. So you'd have a lot of you'd see a lot of energy inside the core and stuff, but he would be a robot. And Purple Fire would be cool. He could look like Proteus. Proteus, the X-Men character? We must be thinking of different characters. Because there's Proteus... Yeah, I think we're thinking of different... Unless you're thinking of, early Proteus. Nah, Proteus is too energy-based. I think. I think one of the... he would be like a robot that has fire sort of in the... Yeah, it gives NRG vibes. I can see that. I can see the comparison with NRG vibes. Okay, cool. I like this. I'll put Luna, not officially because I'm not writing this down, but note that this is also partially Luna's idea. I did not see Luna's ideas in the chat because I'm going in 3 different directions, but I'm sure I saw them, scanned over them and unconsciously thought about it. Ad happening on important times. Yeah, I'm sorry. I need the mic. I know it sucks. I know it sucks. Wonder Man, Jim Hammond / Ultron. That's cool. I love that. That's very cool. That's very cool. All right, so now we need one more bad guy. One more bad guy for the Spectacular Six. And this is, let's look up Sinister Six. I know people want Stiltman. Those are like very specifics that we'll deal with later. We're still doing like, I know this seems very narrow. I typed in Stiltman. Sinister Six. I want to look up their rosters. List of Sinister Six members. Man, Wikipedia, you're great at things. I love Wikipedia. Setting timers so you can warn everybody might be a good idea. It is, I believe, every 20 minutes. With all due respect, that's a little outside my purview. What's up, Cherry? You have missed a lot of things. This is a wild stream, but I love this concept. Okay, so original roster, Doc Ock. I like the idea of Doc Ock being like one of the guys who, like, maybe Doc Ock. Oh, okay, maybe Doc Ock is like an Oscorp scientist who's like, no, this sucks, and then leaves and goes and does his own stuff, and he's like one of the Avengers members. Because, you know, what we're setting up right now, again, this is not the Avengers. We will have the Avengers be set up later. I think Doc Ock being a founding member of the Avengers would actually kind of be cool as hell. Maybe it's just because I like Doc Ock, but he like defects from Oscorp and becomes a founding Avenger later. Electro would fit well. Let me scroll through some other options here, see if I see anything that's crazier. I mean, Grim Reaper is kind of funny. I didn't even know he was on there. Let's see. Sinister 12. I know people are wanting symbiotes. I have a plan for symbiotes because Null is important for this. I'm a sucker for Shocker or Electro. We could combine them. We could make Shocker actually have to do with shocking people. We could make Shocker actually have to do with shocking people, which has never really been the case before. Sinister 615. There's so many. Oh yeah, this is the Sinister 60. There it is. No, you're onto something. You're onto something. Make Shocker the Electro Shocker. The Shocker Electro Hybrid. We don't even need to deal with hybrid. Electro Hybrid. That's fine. That's solid. I think that's okay. So our Spectacular Six is Bruce Banner, Gamma Goblin, Mysterio, but he's actually Loki. Hank Pym Ant-Man, who he can basically just stay the same. Wonder Man, who is the combined effort of Norman Osborn as sort of Tony Stark and Hank Pym, and then the Shocker. Daniel, I survived Gen Con and now have a game with small animals waging war in a forest. What game? Also, hey Daniel, I'm doing this stupid undertaking. I'm making my own like rebooted Marvel universe just for fun. Play more ads. I specifically requested it. Noted. Root. Oh, I've heard of Root actually. Okay, let's see. So this team is formed. And now what? Now what do we want to do? Criminal hero Doc Ock, he stole proprietary Oscorp research so that Norman couldn't use it for a year. I mean, yeah, he still would not be great. Matthew gets control of Marvel once with the RPG and then thinks he owns Marvel. Dude, that book has not arrived yet. I think it got lost in the mail. I think that book is not coming. I mean, we did it with the PDF, but that book is, I don't think that book is coming. Shocker Electro Hybrid can channel electrical currents through the gauntlets. Yeah, something like that. We don't have to deal too heavily with the specifics of Shocker. He's largely there as a bit, but a good bit. Bits are allowed. This is comic books. Bits are allowed. So, now our timeline is after the time-displaced creatures and the Eternal Hunter, which name we don't have yet, escape from the time bubble. They get captured in response to the monsters rampaging in New York City. The military looks for things to deal with the monstrous threat. Norman Osborn gets the contracts. He basically ends up with the Tony Stark origin, becoming Iron Patriot, makes the Spectacular Six, which we have then determined. Now the Spectacular Six are going to be kind of garbage intentionally. They're not going to be good peeps. As in response to them not being good peeps, Janet becomes the Wasp. She takes some of Hank's tech and becomes a vigilante. I think Janet is going to start as a smaller time vigilante. She's not going to be going up against the oh wait, okay, hold on. Phoenix, that's a really interesting idea. Make the Daily Bugle root for the good guys. That would actually be really interesting. Like, the Daily Bugle doesn't like the Spectacular Six, and so sort of is flipped on its head and supports the vigilantes. That would be interesting. Okay. I don't hate that. That's noted. That is noted. Alright. Man, this is the problem with me just deciding stream topics randomly in the afternoon, is because I don't have any sort of prep for them. But luckily we're getting close to the end of this stream, or at least not the end of this stream necessarily, but my minimum time. It's funny, I feel like we're getting close to what is almost a natural stopping point here too, so we're gonna go for at least 3 hours as usual, but like, this is good. This is going very well. Prep, what are you, Batman in a fight? Okay. Thor should be on the Avengers or be a villain for the Spectacular Six like Loki was for the Avengers. I think Thor is another interesting idea, but I mean, Thor is obviously an interesting idea, but Thor is something that is going to be a larger concept that we need to tackle. I want to zoom back in. I want to zoom back into street level heroes. So, what other... Okay, this is going to sound very weird, but let me finish and you'll see where my logic is going. So, I want to zoom back into street level heroes. What other villains are going on right now? I know that seems like a weird little disconnect, but like... Moon Girl is doing things, and Moon Girl has not joined up with the Spectacular Six. Who is she fighting? Everyone stop saying Stilt Man. For the love of God, everyone stop saying Stilt Man. I'm talking about important villains. We can have Stilt Man in there, but this is important stuff. And before people start being like, oh, gasp, you said Stilt Man wasn't important. He's not. He's not important. Anyway, so what other villains can be made here? So, I guess I should rephrase. Slightly. Which is, there can be a lot of villains that are just random science guys, right? That's what a bunch of Spider-Man villains are anyway. Is just random science guys. What plot and universe, what world-building significant villains do we need? That also clarifies why I'm saying not Stillman. What world-building significant villains, if any, is like Moon Girl fighting at this point? Because we need other things that are on the sort of caliber. The Jackal. Okay, do you want to start with Jackal, Amy? You want to start with Jackal? He can create a lot more villains. I mean, that's also true. Ooh. Jackal gets a hold. Okay, Jackal gets a hold. Oh, thank you for the sub, by the way. Jackal gets a hold of some of the deviants and uses their there's a Jackal's like a genetic experiment guy, right? He gets a hold of some of the deviants that escaped and starts sort of mixing their DNA with people doing weird stuff, right? And then ooh. Okay. I have an idea. I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. I have an interesting idea here. So, Jackal formerly worked for Oscorp. Whatever his real name is. I'm bad at remembering. Real names of villains is like the one Marvel thing I could never remember to save my life. Or real names of superhumans. I only remember the superhero names. Jackal, Miles Warren, thank you, Amy, works for Oscorp. Oscorp gets a hold of some of the deviants that are rampaging. Miles Warren goes rogue, starts making weird stuff with the deviants, and gets fired for it, obviously, but like escapes with some of the tech and goes, into the sewers or whatever, and starts making weird stuff. The Spectacular Six chooses to ignore this because Osborn knows that the stuff happening is because Oscorp secretly had deviants, and he doesn't want people knowing this. So Osborn actively is just like, you know what? We'll let the smaller time vigilantes take care of this. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's why the Spectacular Six leaves Moon Girl alone, because Osborn needs her to be there to clean up his mess. That also can be the impetus for why Wasp becomes a vigilante, because she finds out that Osborn is ignoring this and letting the vigilantes deal with it, and then she's like, well, I guess I'll go help. Does that make sense? And then Jackal can be like a street level villain that the Avengers intentionally ignore because they don't, well, the Avengers intentionally ignore because Osborn doesn't want to expose his own stuff. What do we think about that? What do we think about that, chat? I'll recap it now that I have the concept in mind and I can say it all in sort of one go. Oscorp gets some deviants, starts doing experiments on them. One of the leaders in these experiments is a guy named Miles Warren. The Jackal, Miles, takes his stuff too far, gets fired, escapes with some confidential information, continues doing villain things, and mutating people in an unofficial capacity. Osborn does not want to send the Spectacular Six to deal with him because he doesn't want the stuff to get traced back to him. And so he intentionally leaves the vigilantes alone to deal with it. And that is why Moon Girl can do stuff without the attention of the Spectacular Six, and it is the impetus for Wasp being made. What do we think about this? I'm liking it. You say sewers, I say more like it. You're so intelligent, thank you. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. All right. So let's write this stuff down here. This is kind of its own little chapter or sub-chapter. So it's that. All right, cool. So Oscorp has deviants there. Miles Warren experiments on them. Goes too far. Did that go off your screen? No, perfect. Goes too far. Gets fired. No, I don't want that to be capitalized. Gets fired. Is there a... Okay, I'm just going to zoom out and then we'll zoom back in when I'm done. Okay. Takes his research. Keeps doing stuff, or keeps mutating people in NYC. Osborn and the Six ignore this because Osborn doesn't want to expose himself. Because Norman to expose there we go, himself. I hate that this auto capitalizes. I don't want it to do that. There's probably a better way to format this so it doesn't, but I'm lazy, so I'm not going to figure it out. Okay. Osborn and the Six ignore this because Norman doesn't want to... Damn it. And then... There. Okay. It's so hard because I'm trying to keep it on your frames. Anyway. Osborn and the Six ignore this because he exploded himself. Leaves it to the vigilantes. Giving them some sort of legitimacy. Done. This is what leads Wasp to become a hero. I love this. Okay. I love this. What if Jackal kidnaps May Parker and she becomes Elizabeth? Okay, so I should say this. I am intentionally not bringing Peter Parker Spider-Man into this yet because I have an idea of what I want to do with him, but that will be a rabbit hole, so I'm going to leave that till probably next week, because I'm just going to keep doing this on Mondays. This is fun. It's getting pretty good views. So Spider-Man will happen, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this later. Okay. Interesting. All right. Can you do a video on the Human Top? If I remember correctly, that's a DC character, and just for algorithm purposes, I only do Marvel on the main account. I also don't read that much DC. So sorry. Okay, so this is amazing. I love what we have. I love what we have so far here. That gives some street level villains, and that gives our sort of impetus for, the first arc. This is also really cool because for anyone who's been here for like the last 2 hours, you know that we started off with all this weird time loop nonsense that was probably didn't make a lot of sense. But this is what I was talking about when I said this was like world building stuff, and now we get into specific arcs. Because let's be honest, if you're reading this arc, you don't have to worry about the time bubble. The time bubble doesn't matter for this. That's stuff that matters more later. We don't have it all on screen. You're right. Let me zoom out a little bit. That's good enough. Okay. Cool. This is cool. I like this. What's going on? We are basically doing my own version of the Marvel Universe. We are rewriting the Marvel Universe, making a sort of Ultimates but better and Heroes Reborn but better and MC2 style like redo of the Marvel Universe. That time bubble stuff messed with my head, not gonna lie. No, that's fine. I lost a lot of views off that, but that's okay. That's okay. Anyway, this is a very cool idea. I love this. So, let's recap where we're at, not worrying about the time bubble stuff, because that's later. Oh, someone asked for a recap right as we were going. So, this is some cosmology stuff. We're not going to worry about this right now. The stuff that actually matters for now. Basically, all that you need to know is there's a weird time bubble with weird monsters at the bottom of the planet. There's also dinosaurs there. I know that sounds like a big thing to just drop in your lap, but don't worry about it. I'll explain it later. It makes sense, I promise. So, Devil Dinosaur and the Moloids and some other weird monsters who are deviants. Yes, deviants like the Eternals deviants. They all escape this weird time bubble at the bottom of the planet, make their way all across the world. That's going to be like the big impetus for a lot of this hero stuff happening. Some of those creatures make their way to New York City. Devil Dinosaur finds Moon Girl. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur happens. The Moloids and some larger monsters also find Mole Man. That is the first sort of villain fight of this universe, much like it was in the MCU with the Fantastic Four versus Mole Man, except this time it's Moon Girl versus Mole Man. That is the first superhero fight that this version of the Marvel Universe sees. After this big monster fight, the military starts to looking for things to deal with this monster threat. Norman Osborn gets this military contract and basically becomes the Tony Stark of this universe, except in this case, he's going to be Iron Patriot. This is some Dark Avengers-inspired stuff, right? Norman Osborn, in this position, makes himself a team of superheroes, which we have called the Spectacular Six. Obviously, they are a sort of pseudo First Avengers and Sinister Six combo. We have Bruce Banner, the Gamma Goblin, Mysterio, who is secretly Loki. I know that's a big bombshell, but don't worry about it right now. Hank Pym Ant-Man, he's basically unchanged. Wonder Man, who is an android created by Norman Osborn and Hank Pym, a la Jim Hammond, the first Human Torch. And then the Shocker, who is also going to be hybridized with Electro, and he's going to round out the team's roster here. So, this is the first superhero team of Earth. They are, popular in the public eye, etc., etc. But Oscorp also has deviants there. They captured some of the escaped monsters and were experimenting on them. One of the people that experimented on them a lot was a guy named Miles Warren in the main universe, the Jackal, and that is what he will be here too. I don't know why I phrased it like that. Jackal experiments on them, goes a bit too far, does some human rights violations, and gets fired. But he takes his research, basically goes into the sewers, starts mutating people in NYC and causing a big problem. So now there are mutants, not X-gene mutants. We'll figure out a way to distinguish those more verbally later. He starts, turning people into NYC into monsters. Now, Osborn and his team don't want to deal with this, specifically Osborn, because Osborn knows if he goes and stops this villain, it will be traced back to Oscorp, and it will expose him as secretly a bad guy, because Osborn's not a good guy in this universe. He's all working towards his own ends. So, he and the Spectacular Six leave these lower-level monsters to the Vigilantes, the Moon Girls of this world, any others that we want to create. That's how we have Vigilantes and the bigger team at once, and how they can kind of exist separate from each other is because Osborn is intentionally leaving them alone. Now, this is what leads our Wasp to be created, right? Wasp is the wife of Hank Pym. She finds out somehow that the Spectacular Six are intentionally ignoring these monsters. She finds out that that is something that they are leaving intentionally. And to help combat that, she takes some of her husband's tech, and she becomes the Wasp as another vigilante. And that is where we are off right now. Also, yes, Amy is talking about this. Guys, I know there's ads now. It sucks. I don't want there to be ads, but this is my full-time job right now, so I need the money. Ads are in most streams, and I want you guys to know, remember, everything I do is free. Please don't complain about the ads. I know it sucks. I would rather not have it. I'm so open about that. I don't like that I have to have it. But please don't complain about the ads. Everything is free. Also, this is actually a good time for me to remind, my VODs YouTube is up. I'll actually put a link to it in chat right now. Generally, Twitch streams will be posted on the day after they air on this VOD, or on this channel. I will say the one from last Friday is not up yet. I'm probably going to put that up tonight. The only reason it's not is because I had a cold over the weekend and was taking it easy. But normally things will be posted on there the day after. And that will also help support me once I have over 1,000 subscribers on there. And that does not have ads. So you can check that out as well. Anyway, we were actually done with the recap. Okay, so let's see. We are at 2 hours and 55 minutes. I do want to go for a little bit longer. I want to do minimum 3. So just sub. Well, thank you. If people sub, look, I very much do appreciate it. Anyway, what do we want to do now? So Amy said something that was interesting during the recap. You can also use Miles Warren as a catalyst for Norman dropping dirty science onto Uptown to create people like the Defenders. Yes, that is also possible. That is also entirely possible. Okay, let's see. Not street level, but are the Watchers a thing? Probably, but that's like a cosmology level that I don't want to get into right now because that's so many things to cover. I'm guessing this is going to take weeks to finish. Oh yeah, this is going to be a series. I'm going to do this on Mondays. Jackal could have created the Defender since he's running around mutating people. Yes, people are definitely going to be created. Some heroes as well as villains are definitely going to be created in this time. You know what? I have an idea. Let's take the last bits of this stream here because I have some announcements I want to do. But again, we'll cover this first. So. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, one other thing. I also like criminalhero.gawk. Yeah, I like that as well. So, Otto Octavius. Also defects from the inside to become a vigilante. There we go. Okay. Let's go through here. I'm just going to put this at the bottom of the document. Actually, on the next page of the doc. This is going to be a series. I like this. I think this is very fun. Nikhil also said he's able to show up for certain times of it on Monday, so that's going to be cool. The views on this are pretty good. Especially because this was a concept that I just made up and we started in a very weird time loopy place. So let's go through now as the last thing we do on this stream here before announcements and such. Like, don't leave. This is still very much content. I'm just saying that, this is the last topic we're going to cover. Let's go through and just do a quick overview of what things we want to cover in future episodes of this. So, Spider-Man Peter Parker is definitely going to be a thing here. I have plans for Spider-Man here because I think that we can tie him very nicely into symbiotes. This is something that was in like the very early cosmology stuff that I'm not going to recap now. Null is important to this universe. Null is one of the big bads of this world, and I think because of that we can tie Spider-Man into symbiote stuff and have that be pretty interesting. So, Spider-Man Peter Parker we'll have this. Next up, magic. Magic is interesting. Because magic is probably going to be sort of separate, you know? Magic is definitely going to be a sort of separate thing to, like, the time travel stuff. It doesn't all have to be directly, you know, we want it to be related. But it doesn't all have to be 100% intertwined into one thing. So magic is definitely a concept that we cover later down the road. Yeah, strange and the mystic arts. This also contains Moon Knight, etc., etc. This is all this kind of stuff. So, Spider-Man, magic. Mutants. Mutants we definitely need. The mutants are a core enough part of Marvel that that's something we 100% have to cover here. But how exactly we're going to do it, there are options. I'm also definitely going to do this mutant kind of stuff when Nikhil is here, because Nikhil is more of a mutant expert than me. Inhumans is a maybe. I am not going to, like, we will use the Inhumans if we need them, but the Inhumans are also, like, you know, they're sort of tangential enough. Gods and deities, Infinity Stones, yes. I'm just going to write down space. And we're all gonna agree, and yes, I'm telling you, we're all gonna agree that that's gonna be the umbrella for a whole bunch of different categories. That's gonna be the umbrella for our Guardians. That's gonna be our some of our mid-level space cosmology things. Yes, the Infinity Stones are mid-level cosmology in this case. Lots of stuff there. Gonna say what Zap would say and say Infinity Stone Octessence. I don't hate that. I mean, 8 Infinity Stones are, like, a thing in the Ultimate Universe already, but, like... Okay, wait, hold on. I lied. I lied about this being the last thing we're doing. Okay. I'm gonna go quiet here for a second, because I'm running over some things in my head. Okay. Essence... Yes, I'm making a table. That should scare you all. Stones. Combo? Okay. This is so off topic. Alright. Infinity Stones. Time. These are also in no particular order. Time. Mind. Am I gonna have to hit Control B every time? Mind. Soul. Yes. Power, reality, space. Okay. And the Octessence, their general things, gonna get this up, okay, I should note this. If you don't know who the Octessence are, I did a TikTok on them a couple days ago. You can go through and find them. Their vibes are energy, and yes, these are gonna be super vague. Not all of them are gonna make sense. We're gonna work, and I'll write in who is who here. Balthak. Yes, his name is Balthak. I've seen the jokes in the comments section. You don't need to make them again. Movement. I didn't mean to paste the picture of the Eternals in there. Movement. Sidorak. This is actually, we could actually 100% combine these concepts. Illusion. Okay. Can I? Whoa. I don't even know how I did that. I need this. Okay. Once again, I'm going to zoom out so that I can type easier, and then I'm going to zoom back in when we are done. Illusion for icon. Now, I guess Valtor is like poison and decay. We're gonna call... I don't want you... Okay. That should fix it. Decay from Valtor. Watum is like weather and air. I'm just gonna put down weather, but he's also kind of like nature. I'm gonna write him down as nature. Nature. Watum. And then we need Farala, Krakon, Ragador. These are the ones that are a little bit more ambiguous. Farala is like... So Farala's thing is like... Farala's avatar is like Wolverine, like claws, fangs, animal instincts, healing factor. I am going to do something a little wild here, and I'm going to put down... Well, you know what? I'm going to put down ferocity, and I've got an idea for how we're going to do that. Ferocity of Farala. That's how that's spelled. Okay, I'm going to put that. Krakan is like imprisonment. Krakan's thing is weird. Imprisonment. Krakan. And Ragador, which is like construction and machinery. Can we combine these into a set of 8 Infinity Stones? Can we combine these? I think okay. We're gonna be so nerdy about this, as if we haven't been for the last 3 hours. I'm going to do some color coding here. That's kind of hard to see, so let's not make it that color. Whoops, no. That's gonna be too... That's fine, okay. We can combine energy and power into just the power stones. You can just make them new Infinity Stones without matching them up. Well, yeah, no, this, but we need more. I would like there to be 8. I think there being 8 would be fun. We can make just a new, like, power stone. That's just, yeah, movement is space. You're right. And I'm gonna sync these. I'm gonna sync these up to their, the Octessence colors. Why did I forget that name? Space. That's fine. Icon can be mined, right? Icon can be the Mind Stone, easily, right? Because he's illusion specifically is the thing. We'll make his thing actually yellow. Mind Stone, illusion. It's also worth noting the Icon's avatar in the Marvel Universe has like psychic powers, so it's not just illusion. Mind. Decay. Okay, now decay. We're gonna. Well, decay can be time, or. Well, okay. Decay can be time. Because we don't have to make them match up. We don't have to make them exactly. What other... I like the 6 Infinity Stones. I would like to have these core... Maybe change Soul, because Soul's, like, kind of screwy. But Time and Reality... Or Reality is actually also kind of screwy. You know what? Screw it. I'm putting Decay and Time. I think we're gonna combine Valtor and Time. I think that's fine. Again, we can mess with this. This is obviously all flexible. This is just... It's fan fiction. I'm well aware of what this is. Okay. Let's see. Soul and nature to a life stone. We could do a life and a death stone. Or... Ooh. Okay, I'm changing my idea. You could take Krakan's imprisonment vibes and make that a time stone and extend then to a life and death stone. And the exemplars would be the Infinity People, and that concept would finally matter. Yes, exactly. The last 2 stones are dance and another dance stone. Yeah. I think ferocity is going to be the life. I know some people were saying nature for life. I like the idea of this. We'll make it pink. Life, because it's like combat, like instinct. It's not, just that directly. Then decay is the death stone. We'll make that like a light gray. Let's see, and then that can be like right there. So a nature stone. I mean, nature stone and reality stone I think fit because he controls like wind and earth and stuff. Yeah, nature could be reality. Machinery I think is an interesting one, like machinery, construction, advancement. Actually, I've flipped again. Ragador being the time stone is interesting. Ragador being the time stone is interesting because he's like machinery and advancement and construction. I think you can do some more interesting parallels. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Ragador's whole thing. This is admittedly a cheesy reason to do this, but like that's a valid reason to do something in a comic book universe. Ragador's whole imagery is rings, right? Like the rings of Ragador are a thing. Make the rings cogs, make them gears, machinery, cogs, clockwork, time stone. You guys following my weird little association game there? You guys follow rings, cogs, clockwork, time, and then you can tie time and machinery visually very nicely into each other. I love that. That's what we're gonna do. I also just realized I wrote decay twice, life and death. So then we need something. The nature stone like is it's definitely like I feel like we're right in there. We're right next to something that works. You know, we're right there. Because it's like non-living. It's like it's non-living stuff. It's not life. I mean, we can just make the reality stone different. You know, we can just make the reality stone do different stuff. We can call it the reality stone and make it different. Nature and reality, imprisonment and void. Yeah, okay. I like that. Because the void stone is like emptiness and space and like vacuums and stuff. Heck, you could call it a dark matter stone in the right context. Oh, I know. There we go. White text, black highlight. There we go. And then, what do we want to call this? Also, I'm gonna be a little. No, I don't want to. There we go. I just want to highlight the first half. Fine, we'll do the easier thing. Because we are splitting soul conceptually up into two things, so we're just gonna highlight it like that. There we go. Okay. Poison. Reality is a prison, so I vote Krakan. That's fair. I don't like. I like the idea of the voice. I don't want to call it reality. I feel like I'm so close to missing, or we're right there. It's on the tip of my tongue. There's a word, there's a concept that I'm missing. I honestly, I should text my dad, because for those who don't know, my dad is a weatherman by trade. Like he's a meteorologist, so he would know. But like, not creation. Like environments, you know, not like is there a better word for ecosystem stones? Not like in the context of. Not in the context of like animals and plants, but in the context of like weather, storms, earth. Habitat is a good one. It just doesn't roll off the tongue in this case. I'm not 100% sure, but Deadpool has a joke stone, right? He used to have one called the continuity stone, which was a bit, yes. Atmosphere. Yes, atmosphere, but I want one that sounds more esoteric. I want a more esoteric word for atmosphere. I'm just going to Google atmosphere synonyms, which that's such a scientific term. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of them, but I'm going to find one anyway. Ether is a thing, but that's kind of a different concept. Domain? Domain's not bad. Domain's not horrible. The Planet Stone. Aura Stone's not bad. Element Stone. Oh! Wait, yeah, what if it's just... Yeah, what if it's just Primordial Stone? It's like elements. Like Earth, Water, Fire, Air. Because none of the others really fit that. None of the others really fit that. Power, Space, Mind, Life, Death, like, Is that not call it the Element Stone? Primordial Stone, maybe. What are like... I'm just gonna put Element, and then we'll come up with another name for it later. Element. So this is the it's the Captain Planet. It's the Captain Planet Stone. Matter from, well, yeah, maybe we do just literally call it the Matter Stone. Maybe we literally just do call it that. This is a concept I wasn't even planning on doing today, so we can work on this later. But like, I do actually really like this idea of the Octessence being the ones that make the Infinity Stones, and there's 8 of them. Power, Space, Mind, Time, those are all the same. Soul gets split into Life and Death. Reality gets kind of reworked into Matter, and then Krakan has the Void Stone, which is just like nothingness. Okay, I love this. So, let me throw to my big camera. That is going to be the end of tonight's stream. I do have announcements, though, so don't go anywhere yet. It'll only take a couple minutes, I promise. But first off, thank you all so much for coming to this stream. I do hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun, so we're definitely going to be doing this again. This is going to be the Monday thing for a while. So yeah, this is going to be the Monday thing. As for, I guess, what order do I want to do things in? Because I have a couple of different things. They all sort of twist into each other announcements-wise. Let's talk about the stream schedule for the rest of the week. How about that? Wednesday is going to be the next time that I stream at 7 p.m. Central Time with my TikTok pre-show starting at 6. This was my beta test of earlier streams, or my first beta test. From the views today, I do think it worked. I do think that starting my streams earlier was better. Now, this could be that could just because this was a good stream concept. Obviously, I'm going to continue this test, but this was a good start to the earlier stream, so we're definitely going to continue those. So Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, we are going to be doing Ridiculous Power Scaling 2. If you would like to know exactly how that works, I have a wheel of 100 stupid characters. We roll on it twice, and then we actually do research to determine who wins in a fight. It is not serious power scaling. It is not like comic book power scaling. It is non-serious, satirical nonsense, but it's very, very fun. Then on Friday's a very big thing, because Friday is the... Luna just put out a great point. Time, space, power, mind, life, death, matter, void. Great. I'm sorry to throw back to what we were talking about, not in the middle of the announcements, but Luna, that's a great point. I love it. We're totally keeping that. Anyway, sorry to derail. This Friday, big thing. This Friday is the first episode of the entirely new D&Dorks campaign, Outlaws of the Seven, DM'd by Panda Red. If you don't know what D&Dorks is, it is my D&D show that I have been running for like almost a year and a half at this point. We just wrapped up 3 seasons of one cohesive arc. All of that is available on YouTube. That has just gone through the chat if you want to go through and watch that. But this thing starting Friday is an 8-episode miniseries unconnected to anything we have done before. So if you want to go back and watch our previous stuff, do. It's good. But no previous knowledge required. This is a new world, new campaign. Perfect time to just jump into the show live if you would like to do that. That also is, of course, posted on YouTube. After the fact, there's a Patreon. I'll talk more about that later, but I have other announcements to do tonight. You will also see more announcements from Outlaws of the Seven over the next couple days as we get everything set up. Next stream that I do will be on Saturday. That will return to the 7 p.m. Central Time. So D&Dorks here is at 6 p.m. Central. Everything else is at 7 right now. Admittedly, I don't know what I'm doing on Saturday yet. I got days to figure that out, so I'll worry about that later. As for other announcements, I think the only thing that I really have to talk about is my YouTube VODs channel. That is a new thing. Not really that new, but new enough. It has every episode of Canon Clash Season 1. Canon Clash is also returning. I don't have a date on that yet. I'm hoping for the end of August. I would do it sooner, but I have some events at the end of August that I have to do on Saturday night. So end of August, maybe early September, but it is coming back. This is where all of my Twitch VODs are going now. That will also be linked in the chat. Archie already did it. Thank you. This one will be up tomorrow. There's a lot of previous ones. The one from last Friday, I am uploading probably tonight. I hadn't yet because I had a cold all weekend, but normally they will be uploaded the day after the stream airs. And again, this is going to be the new series on Mondays, at least for a while, so we're going to return to this every week for a while and keep building out this universe. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think that's all the announcements. Really just the biggest thing right now is Outlaws of the Seven starting this Friday. Be there. It's going to be awesome. I am a player. I don't know if I think that's probably obvious, but just to clarify for anyone who was wondering, Panda Red is DMing for a bit. He's taking DM duties, but I am a player, so I'm still very much in the show. And if you want to see more of me as a player and not a DM, again, a great time for that. Otherwise, though, I do think that's everything I have for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you Wednesday for more ridiculous power scaling nonsense.